Okay, I want to call the meeting to order. Ask that we please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a word of prayer by Brother Thomas. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Switch the flag.
I don't know who did that. Everybody's facing the wrong flag.
Yeah. Okay, honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, indivisible.
Brother Thomas, would you lead us in a word of prayer?
Yes, sir. Everybody has. Dear Lord, thank you for the wonderful blessings you have bestowed upon us. Please help guide us to help follow your word. Please place your hands upon the men and women of this court to help guide them in the decisions for the people of San Jacinto County. Please look after our government in Washington and help them and guide them as well. Look after the men and women of armed forces, and police, and EMS, and fire. In our Father's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I don't know when they got moved, but that's not where they're supposed to be on other stuff.
Yeah, we had a wedding last week. Sorry, guys.
All right, I filed an agenda last Thursday-ish or something, and not long after I filed, a couple of more things were brought to my attention. So we're operating under an amended agenda. And then there's a couple of more things that we're going to talk about in executive that came up after these first two agendas were filed. So item number 4, public comments. I got one here by Gerald Dieter.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir.
Your Honor and respective members, commissioners. Once again, we've reached a pandemic point here in San Jacinto County and beyond. Late last Tuesday evening, my wife happened to be on Facebook and noticed a notice of urgency posted by the Sheriff's Department. And it indicated that the emergency phone lines were out of order and not operating, and were referring people to the regular number. Needless to say, I cringed when I heard that, because this, as you well know, is not the first time that this has happened. It's been an ongoing problem. And it's often discussed, but here we are again. Nothing seems to have happened in the past. Hopefully we can change that. It is a vital issue. And guess who suffers the possible consequences? And it's we, the people, and citizens of San Jacinto County. We should be able to enjoy living our lives here without the added anxiety and stress. As you know, we pay you a hefty $83,000 plus salary, and the responsibility of you providing the necessary funds needed for an effective and successful Sheriff's Department falls on you. Their operation is fully dependent on what you do or what you don't do. Your duty to us is to provide the means to prevent threats to our life, liberty, security, and freedom. And rather than to continue to procrastinate on this problem any longer, let's immediately make this problem a priority. And once and for all, let's get it done. Then, and only then, you can honestly say that you did your job today.
Mr. Deaver, in light of what you said, just from my perspective, okay, this is the first time hearing about a phone issue. So it would behoove the sheriff department or something like that to call somebody besides putting it on Facebook. A lot of it just don't pay attention to what's on Facebook. First I've heard of it right now when you talk about it. And that's not unusual.
I know when it rains a lot, I know when it rains a lot. I know that from Frontier, who I use in my private service at my other office, you cannot contact the sheriff's department, or the sheriff's department can't contact you
The other office, you got 2 offices?
in my private.
Oh, okay.
I know that for a fact a lot of times. It's usually when it rains a lot. I don't know if y'all have the same issues with your boiler machine. I know that for a fact.
There are 11 counties affected by that outage.
Well, it's something we just neglected to take care of then, right? I didn't think so.
Sir,
First time. I heard.
11 counties were affected that.
7 counties?
11.
11?
It would just be nice once in a while, instead of assuming that we all know something, to actually ask somebody prior, because we don't get the information. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dieter. Raymond Cox.
Thank you, Judge,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner. Anyway,
I'm talking to Mike.
okay, I'll hold it.
There you go.
All right. I'm up here today to talk about
Closer, Ray.
item number 22.
He's messing with you a little bit, Brother Scott.
Anyway, and the basic deal of it is, I read the agenda item, and it really doesn't tell me a whole lot about what's going to happen with our permitting office. And I stood up here before and told you, you know, that there's an Attorney General's opinion that basically says that partial notification is considered the same as no notification. And so, and that's under the Open Meetings Act.
Listen, I put them down exactly what they put on the request.
I understand, Judge, but, you know, this day and time, there is such a thing as, I'm going to say, attaching documents. If you have a document that more fully describes it, why can't we attach it to the agenda?
Well, it says that we're gonna talk about permits and permit department modifications thereof. That's why you come to the meeting, to see what they're gonna do. You can't put every possible thing that's gonna be said on an agenda. I mean, and I don't know what this is about either, but I got open ears. We'll see what the concerns are.
How does the public get to comment on it?
I guess they come to the meeting and they listen and
But
get up here like you are and comment.
But then, you know, there's not public comment before the vote.
I don't even think the law requires public comment. We do it because it's the right thing to do, but if you got a better system, what are you suggesting, that we have public comment 2 or 3 times?
In our Texas legislature, it's required that I'm going to say, bill or proposal be read before the body twice before you can vote on it.
This ain't the legislature. This ain't City Hall either. This is the way it's done in county government. It was the way it was done when you were here for 4 years.
I know, it's just not, I don't know. I will say that there was a thing about a while back, Judge, that our animal control stood up in front of you and proposed a new county ordinance on animal control, and you didn't particularly care for what was said there.
I like to know, I may not care for what he's got to say, I don't know, but I'd listen.
Well, I'm just asking if the court could inform us and let us have a say-so if something was gonna change drastically. I mean, if it's just changing the form, changing wording or something, I'm not too particularly interested, but if it's a major increase in price or something like that that's gonna cost the citizens money, why can't we have a word in it? And that's just my opinion. I appreciate y'all listening, but
The way to actually have a word in it is pay your money like the other 5 or 6 that are running for it. Now, I don't know, I get what you're saying, but
I'm just asking politely.
no, I'm not, if my tone's out of line, I apologize, I don't think it is, but I hear you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I believe this says Louis Singletary.
I have a sense of tremor, so can't read it. I probably can't read it, to be honest.
And you said you were talking about, I can't make out.
Permits.
Okay.
And I didn't know there was an item on the agenda about the permitting.
Well, technically, that's all people are supposed to talk about at public comment is what's on the agenda. It says right there on the agenda.
Well, if it's
So
number-
go ahead and talk about it.
Well, and I realize that I'm probably beating a dead horse, okay? And I'm going back to the permit for commercial development and a deep restricted community. And I understand a lot of things, but by y'all approving, and specifically precinct 1, that a commercial development can be put in a deed restricted community, y'all have now set a precedent. And I realize there's
First
two
of all-
signatures on it, please. There's 2 signatures on it, Mr. McAnally and the engineers. But the thing is, you set a precedent, so now you've not only affected Country Ridge Estates, but every deed restricted community within San Jacinto County, because now it's open territory. You've done away with the need. So I think the things that I would like to ask for, number 1, is that you review the permitting process to where it can be established so that you don't affect, I was told at one time 11 deed restricted communities within San Jacinto County, but have been since told a lot more. So now you've really opened the door. You've done away with the need for deed restricted communities because it doesn't do any good, because normally deed restricted communities are there to prevent commercial development. It's for residential development. And that's one problem. The second problem is there's some disparity in y'all's regulations. Y'all gave a permit that was on land that was platted for residential, but y'all allowed it to be replatted without going through the proper channels to make it commercial. You approved a property that doesn't have sewage, but he said he's going to tie into city sewage. However, city sewage will not be available for a minimum of 2 years, as per the mayor. You just really opened the gate. So my request, once again, is review the permitting process. Review your regulations so that you know if you're, by issuing a permit, regardless of where, it actually violates your own regulations, which y'all did. Thank you for your time.
Okay, when you say y'all, the court doesn't approve the permits. We got a permit department that does it. I know they're an extension of the county government, I get that. I'm not aware of any requirement that any of us sign off on a permit. If the commissioner's signing off on them, that's news to me.
And
That's his business.
And that's why we have two items on the agenda today to answer Mr. Topping's deal and yours, is to close these gaps and get some clarification on what does and doesn't. That's why there's no backup, because it's a general discussion of what needs to change.
Well, and once again, there are two signatures on the permit. One of them is Commissioner McIntyre.
I wasn't aware of that.
Let me clarify. That's why we have an engineering, that's in with the permit department that goes over all this, make sure that everything is right before anybody signs off on it.
Well, and once again, the reason people buy in deed restricted communities is to prevent commercial developments. They want homes there. And so, once again, you signed it. And yeah, the permit office may be required to do what's right. But once again, that goes back to the permitting process and everybody understanding the regulations that somebody sitting up front here established.
Have you reached out to the engineer and discussed this? Maybe he can enlighten you some on it.
Well, I told him it was a residential property, so the short answer to your question is yes.
Okay.
I talked to him. He said he would review it. It was still approved. So, I can sit up here and talk all day, but it's not really going to do any good unless y'all take action and review the permitting process, because it is an extension of y'all's board. And it does affect, I'm pretty sure, each and every one of y'all's constituents that vote for y'all. And in the prayer, the gentleman says to guide y'all's decisions to where it's beneficial to the people of San Jacinto County. And obviously, I'm paraphrasing that.
Listen,
But-
the last 4 times y'all been up here, I've told you every time, and you've probably been to my office and I've told you,
Couple
y'all
times.
need relief in district court. We don't have the legal authority to shut down or enforce deed restrictions. That's done in district court.
Well, and there is a case litigated, there is litigation supposedly fixing to happen. However, it's costing us money to do what should have been on the permit to begin with. Is this, if you just added one line, is this a deed restricted community, or deed restrictions prevent you from establishing this commercial residence or commercial business or residence, then your people, your constituents, wouldn't have to pay out monies for lawyers and court cases. It doesn't really make sense to me, because it can be controlled very simply. And maybe I'm too simple in my opinions, if you will. However, this is not just Country Ridge Estates. How many deed restricted communities are there in San Jacinto County? How many of y'all represent people from those deed restricted communities? I'd say probably every one of y'all. So, once again, this is the people of San Jacinto County trying to keep development, commercial development, or I guess unworthy people or businesses or whatever out of their community. And this affects each and every one of y'all.
The district judges are the ones that decide who's worthy and who's not. We were not bestowed that power. We don't have the authority to do it. And you can come up here every week if you want and gripe at us, because we're not enforcing, but we're never going to have the ability to do that till the legislature gives us that power.
You can't establish one question on there, is there any restrictions on this property? that would prevent you from the,
Yeah,
from,
we can add that. That's not a problem.
well,
That's not
that
a
would have solved the whole problem.
So
And
what's
I
that
would
gonna
have
do?
surely been
You're
glad not.
gonna put in there that you can't get a permit if there's deed restrictions?
Well, no, you can get a permit unless it violates the deed restrictions.
That's not, we don't have authority to decide if it violates. That's
Well,
the
who does?
purview. The district court, like I've told you over and over. You just may not want to pay the lawyer. I can't help that.
Well,
I
once
cannot
again,
help that.
it does affect each and every one of y'all. And everybody within the restricted community in San Jacinto
If
County.
you will, reach out to our engineer, and y'all have a discussion, and he can kind of enlighten you on several different things.
Well, and I've talked to him, and I've talked to the judge, I've talked to the permitting office, I've talked to anybody and everybody that would open their ears to me. And you know what?
I don't believe you've ever been to my office,
It
sir.
didn't fail. You didn't get the answer that you wanted, sir.
You in your office.
You hadn't been to my office, I talked to you out there.
You talked to me in the office that's in front of the city government.
And I think I talked to your daughter in length about,
Oh, I'm sure my daughter, I
Yeah.
can tell you that. Y'all probably know that.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Any other public comment? Item number 5, announcement, possible discussion of items of public or community interest for which no action will be taken. Probably 15 years ago, Precinct 4 had a situation pop up where a road maintenance agreement was entered in with a oil company up there. And in that road maintenance agreement, there's a provision in there that says that if the oil company wants to sell I'm paraphrasing, sell the transfer of the road maintenance agreement, that they have to get consent from the county, and consent shall not be unreasonably withheld. Mr. Rush, you represent the oil company. Well, you want to come up here and discuss that? And
May I approach
if you give us y'all's side of the story, then since it is,
What happened, Your Honor, back in the day, SM Energy they had the right to 10 oil wells, and they built a 30-mile pipeline. And there was some contractual agreements in there with SM Energy on preferential rights and who got to buy it if they ever wanted to sell it. Fortune, the company called Fortune, ended up with the right, the pipeline and the wells. I represent Tonto Ranger, who had the preferential right first, not Fortune. There was a lawsuit brought in Walker County because the wells go on both counties. And as a result of that lawsuit, Tonto Ranger ended up with the Fortune is transferring the pipeline and the wells to my company, or the company I represent, Tonto Ranger. In order to do that and get all the permits from the state, we have to have all the same consents that SM Energy had whenever they built the pipeline. Included in that is this road maintenance agreement. And so all we're trying to do in order to get all the permits from the state to operate the well, Your Honor, is we need the same consent that the county gave SM Energy. We're not asking for any more, not asking for any less, just want the same agreement that they had, and we're asking the court to sign this road maintenance
the oil
agreement.
company out of Louisiana sent me a letter and wanted me to sign off on it, and they said if you don't respond within 7 days, it's going to presume, and they can say that all they want, but it's not, that won't flush.
Now, what happened, Your Honor?
So I told them, I said, I'll discuss it with the court, and if the court approves it, it's just not my call. I don't think the commissioner had. What's your thoughts on
I
that?
don't have a problem as long as Tonto Ranger is gonna be the new agreement with them. We're gonna have agreement with them.
That's correct, and I'll be your point of contact, because I live much closer to San Jacinto County than they do.
And you said there's a lawsuit in Walker County that this was wrapped up in?
That is right. This is a part of the settlement agreement where Fortune, the company that was operating it, is transferring it to
We're
my.
not really a player, and we're not involved in the lawsuit.
No.
Nothing like that.
No.
I told the commissioner, I said, well, if the oil company had went in there and tore the road all to pieces, now would be the time, because they fixed the road the last time when this, I believe, didn't they upgrade the road? The road, that's not the situation, but I didn't know. You've been up there to look, it ain't like they tore the road up and.
No, they haven't torn the road up. I mean, like he and I discussed, Mr. Rush and I discussed, there's another company between SM that this agreement should have been transferred to prior to Tonto getting it. So they're just kind of doing some house cleaning to make sure that the current owner is the holder of the agreement that we have. So, and I'm okay with that. I mean, if you're gonna be my contact when I need to call them, it's not just that, that's the only agreement that lists the two roads, well, Counts Road and Fitzgerald.
Correct.
Now, like I told you earlier, they've got a well on Old Study East and Mount Haber Cemetery. So
But I don't know that does the pipeline cross under those roads?
the proposed pipeline crosses under those roads, yes, sir. But the agreement for this was about the well. It wasn't about the pipeline.
I got you. Well, this agreement, this assignment purports to just transfer the same rights and rules that they had with SM Energy to Tonto Ranger to Pochai River.
Now, not to dredge up something different, but y'all had to, SM Energy had to have a permit to cross each one of the roads they crossed. And if we're digging into that, I mean, it crossed Ryan's Ferry, I mean, it came from
If they put in a new permit,
well, they're not gonna.
I mean, if they put in a new pipeline, is that what they're planning on doing?
No,
Oh,
this is just transferring the right ownership to operate the current pipeline that's there, Judge.
well, there is a lawsuit involved, and it involves real estate in a way, as far as a right-of-way goes. The only way we could act on it today is when we go into executive session, discuss it. Item 28 says adjourn executive and reconvene, and we could vote on things discussed in that. That's the only way we could act on it today.
May I approach and hand you the consent if y'all decide to do
Just give
that?
it to the commission. I don't see any problem, but we'll do that.
If there are
Stick
any-
around, you can, but the executive's gonna be about the last thing we do.
I've got some depositions that are taking place in my office, 10 o'clock. I'm gonna have to
All right. It's good to
drive
see
within
you.
the speed limit to get there, Judge.
Yes, sir. Have a Merry Christmas.
Okay, thank you, y'all. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Item number 10, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve interlocal agreement report postmortem examinations with Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences. I think we've had a contract with Harris County to do autopsies for years. I think we've also got one with Jefferson County, and they were always a little cheaper. And most of them went to Jefferson County, but some of them, where there might be a higher level of expertise required, go through Harris County. Harris County has raised the cost of autopsies to $3,850 $55 for an external no, for an autopsy. An external examination is $2,690.
Basically $1,000 on full.
I don't mean we have to use them, but every so often, we gotta have somebody.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract.
I have a motion by Commissioner Matuno, a second by Commissioner Brandon. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0. You wrote this contract? You did a good job. Oh. One, two. Huh. I got 2 to 3 people that sign off for Harris County. I got a spot here for the auditor to sign at some point. Usually it's the county. I don't know what's up with that. Item number 11, consideration, discussion, possible vote to appoint a code enforcement officer. We're gonna probably, last meeting, we turned that over to head of the permit department. She's selected a couple of them to interview. And anybody here on that?
This man right here is.
All right, we got 2 here. When we go into executive session, we're gonna, under the personnel item, we're gonna ask y'all some questions and then go from there. Then we'll come back if we in that. So we're gonna hold on that. Item number 12, consideration, discussion, and possible vote for appraisal district board of director members. That's something I added to the agenda because I realized that the deadline was coming up December the 15th. That's one of the reasons why, and that we hadn't, I know we made our nominations.
Yeah, we had one that we talked about adding as an alternate just in case we don't get caught like we did last time. Like we'll reach out to Barry.
Well, I don't know, they sent it to us certified mail, but I don't know where it went. I don't know who signed for it, but it never did pop up in my office. But anyway, we got a ballot and Cincinnati County has 1,727 votes. There's the candidates for appraisal board are Melody Arendel, Michael Corvell, Crystal Donomany, Terry Holcomb, Colin Lilly, Sky Spivey. We can divide those votes up and cast some for all of them, or we can pick 2 and or however y'all want to do it. Usually we have enough votes to elect 2 people, which is cut 1727 in half and give one 860 some odd votes or whatever it is, and one plus that.
I'd like to keep Mr. Corvell on there. I think Mark and y'all kind of put the spot, is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Do we have any other left?
We can divide it all 5 ways. We wouldn't elect anybody. We'd still elect maybe 2. If some of the others don't get together and put their votes together and overpower us. could end up with just one representative. If we cast them properly, we're guaranteed to have, we can elect 2 people.
We can't, we got enough to make.
8, 16, 12, 6, 12, 7 is 3. So I would entertain a motion to cast 863 votes for one person and 864 votes for the other person.
I'll make the motion that we give 863 votes to Mike Corvell, and then the 864 votes to Mr. Spivey.
I'll say that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Mars and a second by Commissioner Natuno to cast 863 votes for Mike Corvell and 864 votes to Sky Spivey. Any other questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0.
And for the public, if anybody else wants to serve on that, they need to contact one of us next year.
Absolutely.
We have to put you on there.
She sat in front of this right there. She said she wanted to be on the next year. She was here. Not nice. Merry Christmas.
Well, okay, each
That's an unthankful job over there.
Each voting unit must vote in open meeting, which we have on this ballot, and attach a report of its vote by resolution. Well, if I need to draw one up, I'll sign it. You gotta read the fine print on these things here. Attach a report of its vote by resolution. I'm not sure what the reason is for that, but yeah, sure. I mean,
I'll make the motion to approve you to sign the resolution when Chris.
okay.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Brandon, a second by Commissioner McAnally to allow me to prepare a resolution that reports that we voted 863 votes for Michael Corvell and 864 votes for Sky Spivey. Any questions?
So, yes, I don't have my copy, but in the backup, I think the old resolution's in there. I don't know. You might want to just,
I don't have it in my backup. You got one?
I seen it somewhere. I didn't see that either. Well, it must have been in the letter you said. No, I don't have it.
Any of y'all have a copy of the resolution?
I don't, and that's why.
If they sent one, I'll get that and I'll sign that resolution. If I-
We sent last year's resolution, so we know what we did. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I just thought it might be there and just change the date.
Well, that's probably what I'll do. Any other comments? All in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0. Yes. Sign resolution. Item number 13, consideration, discussion, possible vote to open the bids and select a contractor for the buyout demolition. Now, is anybody here from Grant Works? For the whole time they sent this item here and it says select a contractor for the buyout demolition. Now, That's not how I was told it was gonna work. I was told they were gonna bid on each individual
Yes.
site that's getting tore down or demolished.
That's right.
Maybe we go to open them, maybe it will reflect that, but, cause if you bid on this house and then he bids on that house and you're lower on one and you're lower on the other, y'all gonna get the ones you're lowest on. The way they put their request here, it makes you think that, one guy's getting all of them.
All in one.
And one guy could have the best bid, I don't know.
I think they sent a deal out, on the 12th, which was Monday? No, yesterday. They sent it out yesterday.
I was on the bench all day yesterday, so I didn't see anything. I got
See the instructions from Erling at Grant Works regarding opening of the demo contract bid.
Does it say I'm supposed to hold the pocket knife in my left hand or the right hand?
Oh, I brought mine just today. It says to be clear, the package will include individual bids for each property.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
There must be a winning contractor for each property. It may be the same contractor for each property if the bid is the lowest, but each property needs to be awarded an individual.
I don't like that.
Okay. Ain't none of that on here. Anyway, first one we got, James Turner Construction of Nederland. Do we have a list of the ones we approved? That name don't ring a bell.
It don't?
No, it doesn't.
Never heard of it.
Never called getting one from me.
So, before I, we approved the qualified bidders, and we had like 8 or 9 applications, and I think we accepted or approved 7 or 8 of them.
3 or 4, I thought.
We did all but 2.
Yeah.
I think we did all but 2,
That was 7.
but I don't think, but anyway, I hadn't opened it. It could be that they sent this in this envelope. And I don't know if you can sub it out, but, if we approve Mr. Dieter and Mr. McCoppin and Mr. Woods to be our bidders, then those are who, because we went through qualified them. They made sure they weren't.
We kind of scored them.
Yeah, and make sure they weren't, what's the word, debarred or something? You know, if they had a bad experience with a grant project in the past, then they, you know, that's one reason why you would not approve it. Anyway, here we go. It says at the top of this, JWTC. Is that one of the?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
This, okay. What that tells me is apparently, JWTC must be just subbing these out, because the guy who put the bid in is,
Turner.
James Turner. Anyway,
Well, that's his new name, James W. Turner Construction.
all right, well, I just don't remember ananybody from Nederland, that's
So
all
to
I'm getting at.
clarify, they took the bidders out, somebody took the bidders out there and looked. So
Yeah, I know.
They don't, they bid, they've been approved.
You would think so. All right. Okay, here's how they did this. 1001 Smith, that location. His total bid for he broke it down, you know, so much to tear the house down, so much to do something with the crush and backfill septic, debris removal, fence removal, carport removal, wooden deck removal, demo garage then the grading of the land, dirt to backfill the demolished concrete, pallets of sod. They're gonna plant grass.
That's what that says here.
Silk fencing or berming, well, he didn't put nothing there. Asbestos testing, $600. And more asbestos testing, $1,500, for a grand total. He's got a grand total, $35,150.93, or $36,650.93. With abatement, that's on the asbestos, or without.
Is the price they got including, when was the price done? Does it say when they went and looked on that? When they bid that? It ought to be cheaper now, because they're probably a lot less.
Well, that's there. It's tearing it out.
Yeah, the locals have been helping. We have a cooperative agreement with some of the locals. They've been removing all the copper, the air conditioners, chandeliers, roof of tin, you name it.
So ought to go down a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna try to make us like a spreadsheet here. JWTC. The next. All right, that's his bid on that. And the next location is 1540 Smith. I ain't gonna have enough room here. Wow. The next at 1540 Smith is $48,681.73. All right. The next one is 636 Smith. We're gonna get to one of them houses that was already burned down. Then it'll be a lot cheaper, huh? This one, the bottom line, $37,398.16.
Which one was the address on it?
That's 636 Smith. The next one is, anybody got a notebook? I'll run out of paper.
Need to make some copies, huh?
Yeah, we can.
Actually, that'd be the easiest thing to do, is make copies.
But I wanna, we can, but I'm gonna go through them all, and so the public's here and they need to know. Thank you. How many bids are there?
Bunch of
There should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even one of these a bid on that land?
No, I have that one.
That's separate, okay. All right. This one says, I don't know, Bryan, Texas, CLLA. I don't know who that is. They were all. Did you check and make sure they were all timed and received? They were all, for the record, they were all received before the deadline, correct? Might use that for target practice.
Didn't have the white substance on it.
I don't think so. So bid and close.
Well, you just undo the little paper thing on the back.
Albo LLC. I'm sorry, what?
It's got that little metal tag there, won't you? See it?
It's glued down. I mean, if somebody licked it, stick it. This is Albo LLC. Excuse me. Date of proposal, 11/29/23. 760 Holt. $23,400. Wait. That's with abatement. With abatement. Apparently, there's gonna be some that have asbestos type stuff, and there'll be some that there won't be asbestos. But his price is, without abatement, it's $13,660. Now that's so who's gonna decide or let us know whether or not there's abatement necessary?
They'll test it, get a lab report.
I understand that, but we're awarding the bids based on these numbers.
Without like.
This guy put 10,000 in there for abatement. Most of them others only put 1,500 for abatement. That's going, if there ain't no abatement, so far this guy's way under on this particular one. But there must be some possibility that there's abatement because he put 10,000. The next one he's got, there's only 2,000 for abatement. And then the next one, he's got 9,000 for.
Well, a lot of that going to depend on how they're going to abate it. They're using water curtain, and that's going to cost them a whole lot more than just go into a tie and respirator.
Yeah, I don't know. I know I'm not going to be around when they're doing it. I know
They're
that
not
much.
gonna do that. They're not gonna do either one of those. They're gonna grab the thing, put it in the dump.
I guess what I don't understand is if we award a bid for abatement, somebody gonna be out there making sure we got $10,000 worth of abatement. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, well, yeah, well, you'll be able to tell, because if it's abated, they'll have to go to a different landfill because it's gonna have to be encapsulated. You just can't put them in an open top and haul it down to the sanitary or Republic. It's not gonna be handled a whole different way than what the others are. You'll be able to tell by the invoice.
Surely. Where's the grant works at?
I don't
They
think
should be.
They should be.
Grant work should be out there. They're liable for it.
I agree.
They're liable for it.
That's all right. When we get down to it, we don't know what all we're gonna have. I'm gonna suggest that we award the bids to the lowest bidders, regardless. But if you gotta award the bid, like I say, it looked like somebody that said, hey, this one's gonna require abatement, this one ain't. Next, 1540 Smith, 13,400 with abatement. 11,650 without. Next, 1511 Smith, $19,880 with abatement. $10,130 without. 1360 Smith, 22,840 with abatement, $13,090 without. Smith, that was 1360 Smith. Next, 1,001 Smith, $28,185 with abatement. $18,430 without. Next, 636 This guy did it by street in descending order, so. 636 Smith, $24,055 with abatement. 14,305 without. Next, 1470 Channing, 25,270 with abatement. 15,520 without. 441 Channing, 480 with abatement. 15,730 without. And there should be at least one more on Holt Street. No, there's 7 more. 3, not Holt Street. 370 Martinez, 26,200 with abatement. 16,450 without. 890 Richard, 3,400.
That's the one burned up.
That must be the one that burned out. And then 3,400 without. It's the same price. And he's pretty sure there ain't none. All that asbestos got burned up down there. That fire bug come through there. 351 Richard Street, $13,370 with abatement. $8,650 without. Then last, 21 River Street, $22,180 with abatement. 12,420 without.
So if we award the bid to one company, right, to say that's what happens, and somebody goes in there and burns 4 or 5 of them houses down, do we still have to pay them the amount that they bid on?
I would imagine.
Yeah, that's your contract.
Yeah, that's the contract.
We'd be obligated to that.
So my question is, if there is asbestos, you never get rid of asbestos if it's the county, and we've done bought it, so it's ours. So if they're bidding on to dispose of it, it's gonna be their asbestos problem from now on?
Yeah, it will be. That's why you encapsulate it.
Is that slow? Ma'am? Out of ink.
Jesus.
All right. Well, slow one right there. Out of ink. There's a replacement toner cartridge. There should be one on the shelf in there. No, we're thinking ahead. There ain't, I'm being facetious. Apparently there ain't. Well, we still gotta open it. What we're gonna do, I reckon we got plenty to do, is we'll send one of them over there to a copy machine that works. All right, the next one I'm opening here is received December the 4th. That was timely, huh?
The postmark. Had a discussion with Greg.
Vanessa Centron, I don't know who that is, that's somebody that handled this. They took my knife like this at Minute Maid, so I ordered 3 of them on eBay. That one, the guy had it for a while. You see how much little blade I got left? Yeah. All right, the next one is SciTech Omni. SciTech, does that ring a bell? SciTech Omni Services. Dear Miss Wright, pleased to submit proposal for asbestos testing, abatement, structural demolition. Oh, and then he lists all the addresses. Well, he got a little synopsis here in the first. Talks about the scope of work. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, now he's got them all by address. So here we go. 760 Holt, 19,640. I guess he's assuming they're going to be a best. Wait, 2 options provided based on test results. Asbestos testing, demolition with asbestos not present, no abatement performed. Okay. All right, I see what he's got. 19,640 is without testing at 760 Hope. 27,000. Jesus, he got too many numbers in here. This is what he's got on his bid. 27,6950.00. That's 276,000. He's got an extra number in here somewhere. I doubt he's gonna get that one.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is 1540 Smith. 17,880 without. 27. No, wait. I'm on 1540 Smith. 26,330 with abatement. Next, 1511 Smith. 16,480 without. 24,740 with abatement. It'd have been easier if he'd have done listed the abatement first. 1360 Smith. 16,720 without abatement. 25,180 with abatement. 1,001 Smith. 16,440 without. $24,690 with the baby. $1,470 Janning. $18,680 without. $26,680 with the baby. 441 Janning. $19,340 without. $27,440 with a bait. $370 Martinez. $18,690 without. $26,690 with a bait. $1890 Richard Street. $9,690 without. $12,800 with the bait. $351 Richards. $9,880 without abatement. $12,980 with abatement. 21 River Street. $18,220 without. $26,420 with the bait. Mr. McCoppin about to go to sleep. All right, the next one is RNDI. Go down to precinct 2 and get his grader man and sharpen my knife. He said, no, it's still doing pretty good. That guy will tell you, I'll sharpen it, but I won't give you as sharp as mine. Prepared for Don Wright. Prepared by RNDI Companies, Fort Worth. Cover page, table of contents. Okay. Not sure. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3.
look and see what it's for, because they may not, it's hard to get on stuff. I think someone.
Let's, huh. Yeah, that last one, how many did y'all got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Let me see, they already took it.
I got 11 on mine.
I got 11 on one.
Let's make sure I didn't miss one.
So let me ask you something. We're not gonna pick and choose the cheapest off each one.
When we get through, one of them may be clear out there in the, I mean, there's a lot of range here. Some of these are way,
It's gonna take a while if you're gonna do that.
this last one is way cheaper than
Yeah.
most of them others. Yeah, they are.
Missing, I believe, 636.
No, I mean.
Is there only 11 on here?
All of the bond,
Missing
the
636.
cheap one. It don't matter if he's high or this one or this one's cheaper.
Okay, listen,
When you read the email, that's not what it said.
So we're gonna have to take each one.
so on that last one, I skipped one apparently, 636 Smith. 18,780 without. $26,880. $26,880 with a bacon. Sorry about that. There was 12 on that last one. Now, RNDI. $540 Smith. 20,993 and 13,993.
You can make me copies of that and email that to me with your recommendation.
441 Janning. 20,826. 13,826. 1511 Smith. 12,296. 8,796. 1470 Janning. 18,079. $11,079. 1,360 Smith. 23,807. 13,307. 370 Martinez. 19,955. 13,255. You put a flat price on all the bacons. Same price. 1,001 Smith. $22,960. $15,960. 351 Richard Street.
It's the second page. That's the other one.
$6,615. $6,615. $615. That must be the burnout one. Another fellow did the same thing. 636 Smith. $22,474. $12,974. 890 Richards. $2,430. $2,430. There was, might have been two burnouts. I think there were. 21 River Street. That's out there on the highway. $18,515. $11,515. 760 Hope Street. $19,451. $13,851. A place for me to sign accepting the proposal. I'm gonna hold off on that. Let their end up. All right. Last one I got here. C4 Land Management. Cold Spring. Properties. Oh. Hips. Yeah, it reminds me of sitting up there in the cheap seats at Minute Maid. Golly, sorry about that, folks. 12 properties, map out project, coordinate with 811, locate utility companies, local septic test technician companies to locate all utility lines, clean out all tanks, disconnect. It goes into all the scope, I guess is what that is. All usable materials will be removed from each site prior to raising. You're gonna recycle, that's all about that. We will use excavators to tear down. We will work our way down each floor. We will go back in, grade and restore the site. Oh, Jesus.
Very good.
He's got a total price for all 12. I guess.
Well, reading
I guess we could add them up and see if that's the low guy. $297,350 to do all of them without abatement.
297.
Yes, sir. 297,350 without abatement. Total job with abatement, $362,350 with abatement. Huh, that's interesting. So I'm gonna 6. Yeah, I do.
Well, you had to get to total up both sides, whether it's
Yeah.
yeah. Or you gonna speculate on some of it on the basement?
Well, if it's abatement,
You're going by
that's
the year.
360,000, he's averaging 336,000 a unit. And some of these guys, well, like the first guy here, ain't none of his 36,000. For one, his highest one is 29,000.
But the second one was the cheapest.
Yeah, one of them is 48,000, so I mean, that would be out 37, 35. So,
Well, listen, it looks like ain't nobody averaging 36,000 a pop.
those 5,000.
So there ain't no use in putting too much energy into trying to figure out what happened there, because
Yeah, he's 362.
what happened to the guy from Splendora? I thought there was a dude from Splendora that we approved. He didn't turn in a bid.
There was one that they did not get.
That's probably his.
She said she reached out.
Yeah, so it was one, but she said there was one that did not submit this.
Correct.
Oh. I think they in the dumpster rental business. They have an edge.
Yeah, they had a big hit, they already had the tank.
Well, anyway, and if they were all without abatement, he averaged, no, wait a minute, 12. I did 10. I was doing it by 10s. Projects. 2, 9, 7, 3, 50, 55 by 12. 24,000, 7, 9, and 6, point 16, or 362, 500 divided by 12 is 30,000, 208, 33 cents. I don't think that's,
297, 350, that's 12, I'll come up with it like 24,779.
that's what I got. Yeah. And the other average is 30,000, 208. Well, the first guy, all of his are cheaper than that. So is the second guy. So is the third guy.
You know, some ones in there for like 638.
So we can do this if y'all just want to do it by the, all I gotta do is one at a time, and
It'd be a nightmare, and then you're going to involve so many other issues with 5 or 6 contractors. I would think you'd do it by the total price.
we can add the totals up and do it that way.
Well, it says here to be clear, active will include individual bids for each property, which we got. And there must be a winning contractor for each property. And it may be the same contract for each property if the bid is the lowest. That's not the way they want it done. But each property needs to be awarded to an individual contractor. That's what came in on Carolina.
Okay, so
Okay,
each one's got to be awarded. You're going to have to go through all of them and award the cheapest. So you're going.
well, that ain't hard to do.
You may have 5 different contracts.
1,001 Smith. One guy was 36,000. Next guy was 28,000. 1,001 Smith. One guy was 16,000. 1,001 Smith. Another guy was 22. So,
one was 16, would get that one in.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, 16,000.
I bet you had, I bet you.
Now that's SciTech.
I bet they didn't need it because.
We're fixing to, are you gonna try to bid these right now, or we gonna look at them and bring them back next quarter?
What is there to look at? They're just numbers. I'd like to get it over with. They've been sitting there chomping at the bit to get to work. SciTech's the lowest bid on 1,000.
I bet you have some contractors.
Here's, that's without.
If we don't have enough to mow, we mow.
That's it, you know, and that's,
All right. Now, with the abatement, this other guy, 1,001, he's still 36,000. With abatement, 28,000 is lower. And this guy with abatement's 24,000. Now here's one. Wait a minute, that's right. RNDI is the lowest. He's 15,960 without. With abatement, $24,000. 22,960. RNDI is the lowest, I'm sorry. Both ways. Like, Mark, the first one, for instance, 1,001 Smith, RNDI is the lowest both ways you can bid. So why wouldn't we award that?
Why wouldn't you just say let's approve the cheapest bidders, however many, whichever one's the cheapest?
Yeah. Because the rules said you were supposed to award them by separate jobs, but I'm just trying to do the analysis so we can do that. They probably are the lowest ones. Is it, y'all want to add them up? Was
I
y'all?
mean, I was driving and I quit and I was waiting for the copies. That's why I was asking.
Has anybody got a calculator? Y'all ain't writing none of this down and working this
When I was starting on it, and then I quit, so, because I thought it was gonna be copies.
all of those. Do you think I wrote them down wrong or something?
No.
Well, I don't. Do it with me, David. On RNDI, let's just, there's only 4 that are in the ballpark. 20,993 plus 20,826 plus. Oh, I'm sorry. 20,993 plus 20,826 plus 12,296 plus 18,079 plus 23,807 plus 19,955 plus 22,960 plus 22,960, $6,615 plus 22,474 plus 2,430 plus 18,515 plus 19,451 plus. That's 208,000. So this RNDI, Mr. Natuno, with abatement, RNDI for all the jobs is $208,401. That one that gave a bid for the whole thing was like 260 or something.
That was who or not?
RNDI. My daughter'd have one. She'd be shaking the table over there. You do? What do you call that? Yeah. Miss Bass can probably do it all in her head. I used to could back when I was in the 4th grade. Then came the development of calculators. They was rare. All right, without 13,993 plus 13,826 plus 8,796 plus 11,079 plus 13,307 plus 13,255 plus 15,960 plus 6,615 plus 12,974 plus 2,430 plus 11,515 plus 13,851 plus. That's 137,601.
601.
Yes, sir. 137,601. I can run these others. Okay.
137,601 will be the cheapest.
I believe. I was doing it house by house. I just want to make real sure that first guy was 48,000 on 1540 Smith. He ain't the cheapest. The next guy, Albo, was 13,400. I have a total Albos. What did I say? 48,000 on 1540. Next guy was 13,000. Probably 17,000. 1540. 20,000. See, RNDI was. Well, huh? Oh, it's over here. You're right. 1540, 13,000. See, Albo is 13,400 and 11,650. So they're the cheapest on this one. Oh, this is tedious. 13,400. Next one on this is 636 Smith. First guy was 37,000. 636 Smith. This next second guy. Oh wait a minute, I skipped one. 636. He was 24,000. 636. Sytec was 18,000. Oh, 26,000. 26,000. RDI.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm 636 Smith. 37, he's out. 24 with and 14 without. 24. 26, 18, he's out. 36, 22, and 12. So RNDI is going to be the lowest one on that. 636 Smith.
Are any of these contractors local?
22, yeah,
Yeah,
one,
C4.
he was the highest one.
His average with no abatement is 24.
I didn't hear what you said.
His total without the abatement was 24,779. Without the abatement.
22,960 with abatement and 12,974 without. RNDI. All right. Next, 441 Janning. First price was 35,000. Next price, 25,480. $27,440. $20,000. So RNDI will be the winning bid on that. 441 Janning. $20,993 with abatement and 13,826 without RNDI. Next, 370 Martinez. First guy is 24,009. 370 Martinez. 26,000. Got the first guy's in the running on the first one. 24, 26. 370 Martinez. Six. 19. 19,955 with abatement. $13,255 without. It's the best price either way you go. $14.70 RNDI was the best price on 370 Martinez. $14.70 Channing. First guy's 24. Next guy's 25. Next guy's 26. RMDI is 18. $18,079 RMDI. Now without, he's $11,079. Just make sure there's not less than 11. I'm quite sure there's not. Moving right along. 351 Richard Street. Richards. First guy, 16,128. Next guy is 13,370. Next guy is 12,980. Next guy is 6,000. He's the cheapest one on that one too. He bid $6,015 each way. RNDI. Next location is 890 Richard Street. First bid is $52.50. Richards. Next bid is $3,400. Next bid is $12,800. And the last bid is RNDI at $24.30. That's got to be a burned out house. He just gonna run a box blade over it and call it good. RNDI. All right. Next one is 21 River Street, Mr. Walter's place out there on the main highway. First price, $21,638. Next price, $22,180. Next price, $26,400. Next price, $18,500. No, $18,515. And then without, it's $11,515. He's the lowest going both ways. Correct? Okay. We only got 3 to go, gentlemen. 1360 Smith Street. First bid, $29,990. What did I say? 1360 Smith. Next price is $22,840. with abatement. I said 22,840. The next price is 24,690. And RNDI is 23,870. That's the low bid. Without, he's at 13,307. Okay, Albo without abatement. Without Albo is the cheapest. RNDI is 13,307, but Albo without is 13. He's $270 cheaper. 13. So we really need to know if there needs to be
There you go.
abatement out there.
You're thinking now. You're thinking now. Because I can tell you, Albo has got like a different price on abatement if we need it, and JWTC has got the cheapest on abatement straight through, but Albo is the cheapest on the price, but the highest on the abatement. So how are we going to determine if they needed?
JWC ain't the cheapest on none of it.
Huh?
They're not the cheapest on it. Well,
I'm talking about the abatement. They got $1,500 straight across on every property, where Albo's got
Yeah, but
10,000.
they're not gonna just go in there and do the abatement portion. We can't bid it like that.
I understand, but when you do it per house, I don't think we can sit here and do it in a timely manner in court.
So I do believe there's a scope of work.
We've only got two more to
right?
go.
Huh?
There's a scope of work that these guys are ladies and gentlemen are bidding on.
Right.
Why is it that RNDI's got exclusions in there for things he's not going to do? And one is, I don't know what this even means. David, you're a good abbreviation guy. NEPLOTO, make safe cut and cap of utilities by others.
When you had all the originals.
What is that? They're not gonna do that. They're saying, we're not doing that. Y'all are doing it.
Well, see, that was one of the questions that I talked to the grant works about, that they were going to unhook every utility, cap it at the property line on every utility, make sure that was included into these.
It's not in there.
So,
Listen,
Well, I know.
we've only got two more to go. Let me finish that, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do. Next one is 1511 Smith. First bid, 21,000. Next guy is 19,880. That's Albo. Next guy is 24,740. That's, and then RNDI is 12,000. They're the lowest bid on that. 12,296. And then he's 8,796. That's RNDI. Last one we got is 760 Hope Street. First price is $26,066. Next price is $23,400. Next price is $27,650. That's $276,000. He got an extra zero in there, but we can't change his bid. R&DI is $19,451. And then he's $13,851 with that. Let's see what Albert is doing with that. 760. There, now this guy is 13,660. R&DI. So out of all 12 bids, wait a minute, 1540 Smith, 13,400. All right. On all 12 bids, 11 of them, R&DI is the cheapest. On 1540 Smith, Albo is the cheapest. Now, on 2 of the jobs, 1360 Smith, and 760 Holt, R&DI is the cheapest on with abatement. On without abatement, they're $191 cheaper on one and $217 cheaper on the other.
But R&DI needs to be thrown out completely because Ritchie exclusions down there at the bottom.
Well, your exclusions, yes, I agree with that. But it also, if you look up there underneath where it says abatement testing and demo, it also says ACM, no ACM, which is your asbestos contaminated material removal. So
They're not gonna do that either. I mean, this ought to be exclusive, whatever, and also.
Why do you think we're going to throw his price up?
Well, right there.
No ACM removal?
Asbestos contaminated material. So if they test for it and they find it,
Then there's another,
then we're going to have to remove it. We're going to end up.
Abatement testing plus demo costs.
Do we have any contractors here today to bid on this?
That's his price without. Look over in the other column, it says abatement testing plus demo cost, and he's got a price for it.
okay, look, read your exclusions down there and tell me what that means. In your opinion.
Well, it says this price does not include temporary restrooms. I don't care where he takes a leak. On that one, I understand what that means. That means he's gonna have to run up to Brothers, or he can go down to the bank of the river and take care of it.
Okay.
The next one is temporary fencing will not be included. Does our job require that?
That's what I was asking a while ago. Is there a scope of work?
Yes, there is one. Did I bring it? No. Fire watcher security. Yeah, we can keep, Roy Rogers has been keeping them whooped back from stealing all that wire. We can keep it. We're not gonna provide any.
Does the scope of work say they shall? That they bid on? I mean, I don't know.
That's probably not. That's probably me why he's
I
got this
guarantee you
stuff in.
they're gonna have to keep the lines and stuff, because it says here, they're not gonna do that either.
Yeah, that's what I say, and I plainly talked to Grant Works about capping all the lines at the property line.
Sure.
And they,
Provide no cutting, no saw cutting or core drilling. What does that mean? Which one is it got giving y'all heartburn on here? Which one's bothering you? Cause I don't.
there's, some of them, they're not capping the line.
MEPLOTO, what does that mean? Make safe cut and cap of utilities, that? What is MEPLOTO?
MOTO's lockout tag out.
That's on your, electric, the LOTO is lockout, tag out, where you put the tag on there.
Well, I'm quite
Do
sure
not turn back
paying
on,
for
and
any
you got
service.
your name on it.
It's ours, we're not paying for any service on it, I'm sure.
No, what
All
that
that's
is,
not.
what LOTO is the contractor goes in there and power to the meter pole, and the meter is still alive, then they won't know that, somebody, this electrical issue, but that's OSHA.
Does say they're
It'll
not
have
gonna
a
stack
tag
up all
on
the
it.
tin over there for us to come get. But I do get that much out of that. It says salvage of any item for reuse or return to owner is excluded. That means he gonna take all the tin
You're gonna get the salvage out of it.
and build his own barn.
I honestly make the motion to give all this stuff to Grant Works and let them figure it out. Make sure that they bid the right thing, make sure they're gonna do what the bid requires them to do. I mean, they need to earn their money.
I'll
somehow.
second that motion, because this is not our bailiwick here. That's what they're getting paid for.
Well, it appears that we've added up things correctly. R&DI is the cheapest, all but one, 1540 Smith. But yeah, they need to look at all the bids and make sure it's apples to apples.
Yeah, my question is, in R&DI, because it's out here, it says no asbestos contaminated material removed. I would like clarification on that, because
They got a column that's got a price for it though. I say what we should do is award it to the lowest qualified bid. And we won't know if they're qualified until the experts look at them over. How's that?
I agree with that.
So the motion is to pass this and give all the paperwork to the grant company and let them qualify.
Yes.
Make sure they,
What is his name? What's that guy's name?
Tyler,
Tyler.
Tyler, I don't think Tyler's,
he's got,
Whomever.
he must be the PR man, because he's not who we've been dealing with.
Tyler, I mean, Grant Works, they look pretty good. Let me go to check until they do the work.
Yeah, Tyler's not taking, he's not on his buyout, it's for demo, he's got like 3 other women that are doing it. So I haven't seen Tyler on any of the, related to the demo.
I think I'll let this real quick. It's this rain.
Is it raining?
I don't know, it looks like it's fixed to be.
Well, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. Do I have a motion?
second, right here.
I have a motion by Commissioner Latuno and a second by Commissioner McAnally to refer the bids, packages to the grant people and let them determine if all the bids are qualified. And then we'll the next time we meet, we'll award them.
Yeah, because I had a question, some of them said in there they were gonna crush the tank, which means they're gonna have to suck it, they're gonna have to remove what's in it, and then crush it and backfill it, but what about the field lines? They're just gonna leave them in there?
well, typically you leave the fuel line,
Okay.
in the separate tank, crush it.
Question, I don't know, I'm asking.
That's typically what.
What did the scope
They
of
would
work?
dig up the sewer lines.
No, they crush the septic tank or they'll fill it with sand.
They're probably full of gumbo and blackland
They're
anyway.
supposed to pump it out first, legally. And then fill it with new dirt or
Concrete, new dirt or
uncontaminated
something.
dirt, yeah.
All right, have a motion by Commissioner Antuno, second by Commissioner McAnally to, send the bid packs to the grant people and let them qualify. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? The ayes have it. It's, Mr. Mars has stepped out, I guess. It's 4-0 right now. 4-0, it passes 4-0. Mars out. Refer bids to grant. So, is it just me,
Is your office sending?
or for 1.2 million, you're administering this grant program, you're not even at the meeting when we're doing this?
You know,
Does that concern you?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, I think if there's any, this is off the subject, not on the menu, but I think our next acquiring a contract with the grant writers and that, we need to specify that they need to be at each meeting when it pertains.
Well, that'll be here every once in a while for things like this. We got technical questions and we can't move forward because.
Right.
All right.
Not like we ask them to do anything free.
No, they're not getting.
The air conditioner's working in here.
Yes, it is.
I agree with y'all.
Item number 14, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve the contract with Axon Enterprise to provide body cameras and tasers on receipt of Senate Bill 22 funding.
Morning. We would like to table that because we think we can get a better deal.
Table is a good thing, right? Thank you so much. Request to table, no action. Get ready.
Did you hear that, Mr. Dieter?
I heard.
Okay.
No action. 15, consideration, discussion, possible vote for approval to outsource another ambulance service for the jail.
We had a discrepancy with the billing, and I talked to some of you gentlemen about it. I've got the Allegiance Medical Service guys here, managers, and what they discovered was there was a billing mistake. Our bill went from like $367 a trip to $2,800. That would wipe out our budget pretty quick. But I think we've worked all this out. They're here just to explain to you kind of exactly what happened with this and how this is not going to happen again.
They've been a good partner with this county for a long time.
Yes, sir. I think it was really a mistake, but
It was a software update that we did. We were updating the contracts, and somebody just didn't miss that it went back to the non-contractor rate. So really, the way our contract is with ESD is we're supposed to give a 60% discount to the jail for the, compared to our fee schedule. We actually give a lot more than that. We only bill the jail for the Texas Medicaid minimum. So it's more like around 80% discount compared to what the others is. They did overpay on three bills, which will credit that back. But there's still, we're working out, there's a lot of non-paid over the years, so we're trying to get it all straight.
Are you telling me though, you're not wanting to out, so y'all got the problem worked out.
Yes, sir, we got it worked out,
Thank you,
so
thank you, thank you.
we can
very
move
much.
on.
No action.
Yes, sir.
Did y'all want to talk about that more? I'm sorry if I jumped. No. We got lots of stuff to do.
Yeah.
Number 16, consideration, discussion, and possible vote to approve purchase of 4 30 cubic yard heavy duty bathtub open top containers
Don't get choked up.
to be paid for from the general fund.
I patched and poked and prodded these dumpsters for years. And in some part of this, you can't patch and prod no more.
I'll make that motion.
I will second that. And I have a little comment to make before this thing done on discussion. I had gotten rid of a driver for sanitation, and I have not replaced that driver in 3 months, maybe 3.5, 4 months. And I don't expect to replace them anytime soon. I've been using a guy from Road and Bridge to fill in when it's needed. So I probably have saved the money I need to pay for this out.
So where's the money coming from? That'll be my next question to the motion maker.
Well, I tell you, where you coming from?
Well, listen, let me
Well, I'll make a motion to use, I'll amend my motion to use the remaining funds of the payroll and the remaining amount come out of general funds.
What part of general fund, come out contingency or what?
Out of contingency,
And I was still second that
There is.
because I got a couple, and Commissioner Morris and I talked about, and I showed him the pictures and everything of the bottom. There's one container there, we won't even put this out, scrap metal, because the bottom fell out. And that's a liability to the county. And there's another box container that we won't fill because it just rotted out on the side. It's an environmental going down the road after.
Is that
We just
part
got
of
it.
the-
Nobody's questioning we don't need them. I'm just saying, where's the money coming from? Nail it down right here.
That is total.
Well,
just
she's
told-
she's asking if she's got contingency. You
Uh,
gonna take it out of the jail
Yeah,
fund out of it, or what? I mean, she's
I
asking me.
bring it out of contingency, the remaining amount. That was in my amended motion.
There is some money for PCTQ issues that we set aside, but we're not using that.
I'll need some of that money for some other issues.
Okay. So contingency pays, except what your guy covered that your vacancy for a few months.
Okay.
Before we vote, I'd like to share with the public what we're actually doing here. $23,000 and 23,616 for 4 open top containers, because the ones we got are hauled out, rusted out, junk. Commissioner Morris has got money, I thought you said, in your budget because you laid off a guy or didn't rehire a guy. I thought you was gonna pay for it out of the salary that you're saving.
That's what I intended on doing.
Well, then why shouldn't we do it
That's
that
right.
way? You got it in your own, in the budget
Did I?
already.
I did say that. Did I?
Being if we didn't, I amended my budget or my motion to,
If we didn't have
if it
enough.
goes over what you have,
To
then
pay.
take the rest of it out of contingency.
That's exactly what he
Whatever
said.
amount that is.
Okay, I didn't hear that.
That's exactly what he said.
That was my amended
So
motion.
for the record, it's 24,478, that's freight.
Yes. It's 25.
That way it don't have to
All
go
right,
back
y'all
to court,
gonna,
Judge.
you're gonna have them deliver it, so we're gonna have to incur the freight.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's $24,478 with $862 in freight included. That sounds like a pretty good deal.
In fact, we had a compactor, one of the ones at our compactor the other day, when we pushed the last load in, it bulged the side where the big old hole was, and we had them come and dump in. We wouldn't put any more in.
No offense, y'all.
Sanitation money's all out of general fund. That's where it comes from.
General fund responsibility anyway.
That's what I said, it all comes out of general fund.
Well, what the
If you
public,
if you got the money in your budget to cover it, then that's where it should come.
I would not want to touch that Christmas.
what the public does not probably realize as much as we do, everything we put in these containers is contamination as
Sure.
far as rust, and
They
it
rot.
rusts them bad.
They rot.
Uh,
If you get 3 years out of one, you're doing
lucky.
great.
You're lucky.
You're doing great.
So I have a motion by Commissioner McInally, a second by Commissioner Brandon to, pay $24,478 for 4 dumpsters out of sanitation. If that ain't enough to cover it, then it'll come out of the contingency fund, correct?
Correct.
Any other comments? All in favor? Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0.
And a little information on the sanitation, since we just talked about it. We are working on a project that David and someone else has been involved in that's trying to help us on some of our dumping fees in maybe 2025. So I'm hoping to see big results from that.
Good deal. Number 17, consideration, discussion, possible vote for the sheriff's department to have access to the extension office building after the AgriLife staff have made their move into the new facility.
I think we touched on that here, a month or so ago. I just want to make sure that everyone's on board, that we all agree to allow the sheriff's department to have that facility to utilize. It would help them out. It's going to be abandoned. We already own it. We don't have to build nothing new. That would help them out with their deputies. And I think it'd be a good idea for them to be able to utilize the facility.
Well, we started a building over here and we hadn't finished it.
This here's almost move-in, ready to go.
A lot of the big costs that they would have had going over here was the radio console and all that. That was a couple $100,000. That's kind of what, in my opinion, got us just stalled. But it's ready to move in and have offices, but they wouldn't be moving dispatch.
No, they're just moving offices. Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
I'm just saying, I said all along, we should sell that building, put it back on the tax roll, and take the money, as we get proceeds, and finish that building just like we started it. It's right here in town, it won't be 12 miles away, it'll be right here by their office.
No offense. Wow. And I know what you're going to say. I know what Dave is going to say. What's the difference between Shepherd and Coast Range? And I understand point blank everything, and I feel the same way y'all guys do. But what's the difference between Shepherd and Coast Range?
Well, they're about 12 miles south of Cold Springs.
We have a facility that's available. We're going to be open the first of the year for these guys to move right into.
Well, I think a lot of the problem, my perspective, we had talked about the ag building, and part of the reason why they're moving over here is because of all the repairs that's going to be needed in that building.
The what?
The repairs.
What
That
repairs?
are part of leaks in the roof and so forth and so on. This one over here was built, not the dispatch, it was built for sheriff's deputy detectives to move over there. We had already discussed with Lonnie about finishing it out this year, next year, so they can move over there.
Okay, we're talking a year down the road. At the best, a year to 2 years down the road.
No, I don't see that.
Okay, how long have we had it now?
Because they kept stalling.
No, how long have we had it now?
Because we've been stalling.
I know, how long have we had it built over there?
I don't say we've been stalling.
3
We're just
years?
setting out a direction.
Yeah, that's a poor choice of words.
3 years? It's been built, and we haven't utilized it yet. It's not finished, and we have something finished and available and ready. But I'm just one vote.
That's true. I'm just wondering.
But I'm sitting next to you, and it's gonna make you mad, but I'll make the motion to put the building up for sale, quick as it's vacated, and take the money and finish the building over there.
No,
Just like we planned.
no.
That's my motion.
If we sell it, why does the money go back to that? Because it wasn't purchased with that.
It wasn't purchased at all. It was donated to us by
That's
Dr.
right.
Angelo.
That's
And we
right.
probably spent 40,000 rehabbing it
And
from
where-
asbestos.
And where was it at? Where's it built at?
It's in Shepherd.
So we're gonna donate the money to Cold Springs instead of donating the
Send
money.
it to
Hold
the-
on, let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Why couldn't we donate the money then to precinct 2, a new annex?
Just getting the ball field, bro.
Come on.
You can't have it all at
Come on.
once.
Yeah, you got 400,000 for a ball field down there.
Man, you just got $3 million over here for this place right here. They was supposed to went in Shepherd, but no, y'all jacked around about the flood thing, which
Nobody
was totally
jacked around. I
bull
made the second to put it in
Bullshit.
Shepherd.
crap.
Bullshit.
Bull.
I made the
Bull.
second, yeah. I made the second. But the thing is, why aren't they using the police department up in shared building up there on their local agreement?
Sir.
Do we have a motion?
Yeah.
What's the motion?
To sell the building and take the money and finish it out over here.
I have a motion
Second.
by Commissioner Latuno to sell the building in Shepherd, that's where the extension office is, and take the money and apply it to finishing the sheriff's office building over here in the building we started 2 years ago. Was it 2 or 1 year and a half?
2 years.
And I have a second by Commissioner Brandon.
Actually, it'd be 2 years, last
I
January.
don't mean to say we were stalling. I think we've done a very good job of getting our money's worth out of that the way we went about it. We kind of subbed it out. But it needs to be finished. Our extension services.
So my question is, so on the discussion issue on this, so my question is, why couldn't we take the money? May I ask you a question, to you, Ms. Caroline? How much money is in general fund in our fund balance? Let her answer. Estimated guess.
Listen, you quit pointing your finger at me.
I didn't, I said, let her finish, all I'm asking.
I didn't say that.
Estimated guess. Why couldn't we take $1 million of that general fund money and finish out that building?
I was gonna mention it.
Because we didn't budget to do that. We can't.
We
just-
don't ever budget to take money from general fund like that.
Because that's not how it works. We have a budget process every year. But this is like unexpected revenue. We got a motion to sell the building. We ain't voted yet, but
So we already voted in budget time, to obligate the money and talk to maintenance about finishing out this building in a single story. So that's already done. We just need to finish it, period. We need to just move.
and we all, I think.
Did y'all put the money toward it to finish it?
We realize that,
Did you budget the money to finish it?
listen, man.
Yeah.
I
How
know
much
you're
money
mad
did you
about it,
budget?
but you got to calm down.
How much money did you budget to
How
finish
much
it?
did we talk about, Caroline, during the budget process, finish that building?
180.
Part of the ARPA funds.
$180,000 left for the ARPA money for the sheriff's office building, and it needs to be obligated by the end of 2024.
That's
Spent by the end of 2024.
That's what we've been talking about, that the money's there, we just need to get it done. Period, and we'd already talked a lot about it, make it some story.
Y'all come up with everything you want to, man, but what's best for the community, sorry.
So are we moving them over there because it's best for the community, or moving over there because
No.
they don't have room?
We're moving them over there temporarily because they don't have room.
We can get this done.
They would already have a room if we'd done it like we talked about, they'd already been over there. They'd have a room. We've been
Really?
talking about it for 2 years,
I agree.
and it just keeps.
I
going
agree.
up. Well, now we're gonna turn into an $8 million Taj Mahal, and then it was gonna be this. and it was
I
gonna be
agree.
that.
Well, we bought this piece of land, that's where we kind of stopped. We bought this piece of land, we all agreed wholeheartedly we needed this piece of land.
I agree.
And then we said, well, maybe we might look at putting something over there.
All I was trying to do was get them somewhere temporary to go right now to help them out on, because I know all of y'all been in them detective rooms, where them rooms are 8 by 6, and they got 2 or 3 of them stacked on top of each other. That's all I was trying to do, was the right thing.
Thank you so much, you've got us
But I
off
don't
dead
agree with
center.
selling it.
You've got us off dead center, and now we're gonna move forward. Yeah, appreciate that. Any other comment? For the record, I have a motion by Commissioner Natuno, a second by Commissioner Brandon, to sell the building and apply the money to finish out the law enforcement building on the property near Head Start over there. We all know.
If needed.
If necessary, yeah. Any other comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
No.
opposed?
No.
Opposed?
Yep.
All right, it passes 4-1. Oh, no.
Robbie, you next.
Item number 18. Consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve new plat presented from Robbie Flack concerning Live Water Farms.
Sir, hi.
Did you, I thought you had did you get married? I thought you got married and you had another name put on there.
Robbie Flack Langley. Yes, it's I go by Robbie Flack for work a lot, so it's just whatever comes out is fine.
And I'm not trying to be, but last time it seemed like Langley was on, when your name was mentioned, we had,
Yes, sir.
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, Robbie Flack Langley. Robbie Flack. I'll
What do you go by?
answer to anything.
Robbie Flack?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So yeah, my name is Robbie Flack Langley. I'm with Homeland Properties and Recreative Investments, and we're here to present our preliminary plat for Live Water Farms. We do have 2 sections of the property, section 1 and 2, so you'll have 2 plats. And there's a Homeland Properties folder that Donnie passed around to everybody that has all of our application documents in it and some supporting information as well.
We've got county road frontage, you're not building any roads,
No, sir, all road frontage on Lake Pool Road and
all the necessary easements, they've done a terrific job here. You got elevations and all that sort of stuff on here like the rules require.
Yes, sir. Electricity is currently available running down Lake Pool Road through
Lake
Entergy.
Pool Road. This is a different Lake Pool Road. Okay, the last deal you had was in Waterwood. I thought that was, this is not, this is down there on Big
Yes.
Creek.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I know where it's at.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we got the other one done, so this is a different one.
Yeah, the other was up there off of Staley or something.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Off 988 Staley Road, Old Staley.
So it's worded on here for new plat, but you recognize it as a preliminary
Oh,
plat.
yes. This is the preliminary plat. So, with your feedback and approval, hopefully today, then we would present our final plat, hopefully at the next Commissioners Court meeting.
As far as I'm concerned, it's ready to go, but she's went above and beyond of anybody I've seen doing these. I would love for all y'all to read our restrictions
Yes.
one time.
All of our subdivisions do have restrictions. We kind of use the same thing, doing the same thing at what we call Staley Ridge, the one that's in Commissioner Natuno's precinct that we just did.
Water, sewer, all that's available.
There's not water there. Each one will have their own water well and
On
septic.
6 acres, they got room to drill a well if they need to.
So on
We'll
lot
probably get our
one,
teeth
tell
water that
me
close
how on the wide end where it turns and goes between lot 1 and 2.
On section 1.
Yes. Tell me how many feet that is.
So it's
on that first point from the road to going down between 2.
okay. So I believe so from the road to the northwest corner of lot 1. That's about 208 feet.
About 280.
Yes, sir.
8 feet.
Oh, 200.
208.
No, 208 feet.
And does the pipeline turn and go across the corner of that lot?
It does, yes, it
It goes to old
turns
tank battery on 59.
and goes across this Shepherd 59 investments from where it's shown on our property.
Yeah.
We did not have it marked on the neighboring property because we don't own that.
That's where it goes. That's where it goes to. Line over on 59.
Them wells are not producing anymore. So my only comment, and you know, is that you denote that on the plat, and when you sell it.
Oh, it's like the same thing.
That's all right, that's my only problem, is it just makes sure it's on.
Yes, sir. The recommended verbiage, we asked Mark Wood, the engineer, for some recommended verbiage, which is noted on 17 under general notes. But then we did also reference we're going to reference in our restrictions, no structures on those pipelines. For the most part, if they're along the road, the only one is section 2, lot 1, where the old well site used to be. That well was plugged in 1993. So it's been quite some time since there was anything out there.
Yeah, but the pipes did it, because I know when I went out there, you got 2 pipes, one with blind thing.
Yes, they're marked. They're on our plat where you can't build or do nothing.
Yeah, where the one pipe comes up is going to be on lot 2, section 2, lot 2. It's right there at the road. But like I said, we have, some notation of no building on any of the pipelines, where they're abandoned. Those are right there
You
at
got
that
two
corner.
different tracts of land here you're dividing up.
They're just split. One's closer into Shepherd on Lakeville Road, and one's a little further.
Ruth Estes has got 10 acres in between, it looks like.
Yes. There's 20 acres in between their 2 10-acre tracts.
So it's gonna be hard to build on lot 1 with both lines going like that, right?
There's no line on one.
Yeah, no, there's no pipeline on lot 1. We just have, our utility easements and setbacks so that nothing's built too close
That's
to the road.
utilities that you're looking at. That pipeline turns and goes before lot, that's lot 1.
No, I'm looking on the.
Oh, I'm sorry, lot 1 of section 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, section 2.
I mean, it is
The line
6.
drawn on lot 1
Yeah.
and section 2.
It is 6.7 acres. On the ground, I feel like there's plenty of room to build in between those or on the western side of the track, where you would not interfere with those.
Well, I think where the right question is, if there's line there that's abandoned, correct? You'll run through.
Yes, it's abandoned, yes.
Okay, we can say on here that you can't build on it, in 10 years, somebody might want to build on it. What's going to be the repercussions for the county if somebody goes in there or that line decomposes and gas will construction?
Yeah.
Just because railroad commission said we discontinued, doesn't mean it goes forward.
Yeah.
They'll rework it. I inherited the mineral rights on part of that. I think they'll make it produce again. I'm just kidding.
Well, you're liable for some of them fines.
It was a good well back in the 70s.
Commissioner, to answer your question, I think you need to make that statement in your motion that says we're not liable for anything like that.
And that's what I was getting at. We need to have it somewhere on this plat needs to be stipulated.
How could we conceivably be liable for a division of private property?
Yeah.
We don't own the property.
I mean, it's kind of been.
Approving the plat.
That's all we're doing though.
Yeah.
It's just dividing a piece of land up and selling it.
Yeah.
That's what she's asking.
It's kind of been a question this whole time of what do you do, because I've done a lot of research. There's nothing that says what to do with abandoned wells and abandoned piping. I mean, there's abandoned piping all over Texas that we probably don't even know about. It could be underground right now or underneath us. So
They can't even tell you
yeah.
when they was abandoned or
Well,
we had so many issues
yeah.
with this stuff, man.
1993, I assume.
And I get that.
The
That's
railroad
what I'm
commission.
trying to drill down to, because you've already made reference in here.
Yeah.
There is an existing pipeline that was decommissioned by the railroad commission, okay? So I just want to make sure that people who buy the property and us, 20 years from now, something blows up or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't know what soil contamination is. There's nothing in there about it. We want to make sure that we're covered and that the people who buy it are covered.
Yeah. There could be, I mean, I'm just
If
thinking,
if they sell the property and they go out there and test it and it's all contaminated, they're the cause of action. Are you the owner or just the seller?
owner. Yes, sir.
You might, that's something you have to worry about.
Yeah. I
Just
mean,
because we approve a plat doesn't mean that somehow would turn you loose on any
right,
liability that you might have.
right. Yeah, I mean, I would probably want to talk, with, I don't know, Andy is a broker of our real estate company, so he knows a lot about this too, but I mean, could have a waiver that people sign, stating something in regards to the county,
Yeah, cause
liability.
your stuff and that you put in there, I mean, I go along with what the commissioner said, you've done an outstanding job.
Yes, yes.
No question about that
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Beautiful job.
I'll make a motion to approve the plats, 1 and 2 with the owner of the property that divided it to accept all responsibility of the pipelines or anything to do with the pipelines here forward. We are only approving the plats as they are drawn.
Fine with me.
So as far as, I have a motion by Commissioner McNally, a second by Commissioner Brandon. Some of this is in the floodplain. I guess that's,
Well, there's enough on there that they can build out of the floodplain. I mean, that's a long creek, so yeah, there's gonna be floodplain.
Yeah, cause when they go get a permit, they're gonna have to get BLE anyway because.
yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of room up in the front
Correct.
of these to build outside of that.
I mean, it's got elevations, but
So you write down that motion, Bill?
I did.
You got it on? They're easier just to say the county's not allowed.
You got more ink? Let me add something to it.
Any fairly flat and level, but up towards the road, it's probably high enough where it'd be a good building site, wouldn't you say, Commissioner? Well, I mean,
how much water you get, anything's good.
It's about an 18 feet difference from the creek up to the front. 18 feet.
I lost a dump truck right there with that mailbox for that. That tells you I didn't get.
The little
Yeah, I
boat
mean,
out on
yeah, I
section
mean-
1.
During Harvey, he was down there pulling people out and stuff. And
Lost a dump truck at lot 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why them
Harvey
people need
is,
horses when they sell to the horse
there
people.
too.
And you got 3 people that are handicapped getting in the back of a dump truck, sure is scary.
he did lose a dump truck.
Sure did. Yeah, sure did. Went up over the hood.
So when they get ready to build, it may be when they do the, whatever, this, they might have to build up well off the ground. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not in the
I don't
floodplain
know
up
that we
there,
have, let me
It's not.
see.
That don't mean you don't get
Or
water.
the BLE.
Say,
Yeah, the BLE will tell them.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get like a elevation certificate.
Yeah,
from-
yeah.
Yeah.
That's all, you know all that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Any other questions, comments? I have a motion. I didn't write it down. By Commissioner McNally.
I'll make that.
Second by Commissioner Brandon to approve the preliminary plats on section 1 and section 2 of live water farms off of Lake Pool Road there in precinct 2. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? The ayes have it. It's unanimous, 5-0. That's preliminary plat.
Yes, sir. So hopefully we'll be back in a few weeks to present the final. So thank you so much for your time.
Ready. Thank you, Rob.
Have a good one.
Do we bother with signing all these preliminary plats? Some of these yours, or are these mine, or these yours?
Them are all the ones she brought. Everybody
Y'all
got-
have some?
Yeah, we all already passed them out.
Okay. Well, okay.
Just keep on.
Wow. Item number 19, consideration, discussion, and possible vote to approve preliminary plat of Cranford Estates. Cranford,
Yes, sir, this is off of Paget Road.
is that Bobby Cranford's place? You know, he died, had a heart
He
attack.
passed away, and his widow is wanting to divide the place up and sell it in 3 tracts. So we're going through this rules and regulations, subdivision rules and regulations. Mr. Woods looked at it. There is public water. They will have to have septic systems. Well, there's already a house on one tract.
He's right down past where Mike Jeffries used to be. He was head of the water company down there. He had water down there, for sure.
Well, anyway, it's just a step, let everybody know, look at it. Anything you see needs to be changed, there's a 5-foot easement between the lot line, drainage easement.
I'll make that motion. Accept the preliminary plat.
Did they bring you a regular size?
They
Anything
did
you
not.
can actually read?
I just texted her and said, I thought you was bringing me bigger, she said, I don't have one. Actually, Jen Durden is the one doing it for me,
Yeah. Have a motion by Commissioner McNally, second by Commissioner Brandon. Man, I can't, what does that say,
7.77 at the house,
777 and
5.72 and 5.47, or 6.72.
That's right next door to the real estate lady's house.
Yeah, she's the one doing the dividing up.
Is this on Paget Road? Is that what that says? They're not building no roads. There's water, there's electricity, there's phone, all services are there. The lots are big enough to where they can put in a septic system.
got the floodplain on it.
There's a letter in the packet from Trish said they're adequate in size.
Well, there's a little bit bigger version of it.
Yeah, the little version is the one that shows the drainage easements.
Yeah,
Drainage.
that's the one that's got the drainage.
It's gonna drain to the back of the east of the property. I can tell you that. It drops off back there over there where it joins Gans. Used to squirrel hunt back there way back in the day. Wasn't very many squirrels. Any other comments? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. It's unanimous, 5-0. Item number 20, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve the easement for the PBSC Point Blank Stevens Creek water supply to provide a water line across the 2.701 acre tract, San Jacinto County. It says owned. It's owned. Formerly the Don Rector tract. That was believe it or not, that's a buyout from back in the 90s. Don Rector had a basement, and the basement flooded, so it got bought out by FEMA. Remember that? What was it?
Is that, so that is our property?
Yes.
They want to go across our right of way? Yeah. Make them purchase it.
They can't do anything.
That's what
We
we're
can't
doing
do
now.
anything with it. Yeah, that's where we stole the building.
Make them purchase the right of way.
There's already an easement there.
Didn't we take both buildings down? We finally took that second one down?
Yep.
Where's the first one? You have it, Lou?
Up the hill?
No, the first building.
Well, it was over here, and then it went to precinct 3.
That's a 2-bay building, yeah.
That other building we sold,
The other building sold, came down, there was one, a good look, red iron.
Yeah, we sold it and it went in the general fund.
nah, I don't know about that. We didn't get much for it.
Yeah, we did too.
You got two slabs up there, we need,
Painted green and
where
turned
the
basketball.
Mark Natino Memorial Park is gonna be named.
Well, anyway, I make the motion to give them the easement on the 15 foot of the road that is on the non-record track. And there's the easement non-record track. And it references the 2.7 acre tract.
Water company give you water for free?
They do. They give the county, no, they don't give me water, they give the county water free. And they give sanitation water for free.
Really?
As long as they keep on giving the county water, I'll vote for it.
We used to give, water to various entities,
Oh, we get the minimum.
but not anymore. They don't do that anymore. They used to give it to the fair board and all that.
Not anymore.
I know, I've said that when I was on the board. Motion by Commissioner Natuno, second by Commissioner Brandon. To give a water line easement to, who would get, the water company don't need an easement, who would give it?
We're giving the easement to the water company.
I understand,
They're going across our land, but it's Adams, somebody by the name of Adams.
it's somebody.
Adams. They're developing a 20 acre tract behind there. To build a house when they want to go.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, it's unanimous 5-0. I'll have to get my notary to notarize it. I don't know if it requires a notary. 2,000. Yeah. Mercy. Oh, wait. I'll put that there. Goes. Item number 21, consideration, discussion, and possible vote to approve the private road in precinct 3. Now, Mr. McCoppin, that's one where we didn't have enough information. That don't tell you nothing. I mean, it don't.
This is the one Trish and I talked about. This comes off Southern Church Road. People, how long they lived back here?
Are we proving the name or road?
Just the name.
Name.
Sorry.
Okay.
This is a private road, they need address and address they need.
I think you came in there to kind of, but I was swamped and I couldn't talk about it. And if I'd have talked to you, I'd have gotten a little more information. At least I'd have known more about what you, and I might have put more information in here, so.
Right. That's my fault. David asked me to put it on, and I just didn't put private road name. I did look at all the road names that they have listed. All are available, but I know in Precinct 4 there is an Armadillo Drive, and everybody here has probably a timber road, lane, drive, so it
So
might be
there's a road
confusing.
out there that exists that just don't have a name?
It's currently used as an easement for
But
these
it's not been
properties.
assigned a name.
No,
Right.
they're actually using Salem Church Road as an address, and EMS or anybody was needed down there, they wouldn't know where to go to because there's no road name.
So what
Salem
name do you
Church.
recommend?
I personally, I think
That's
Salem
Leroy
Pine,
Salem.
there's nothing else like that.
It goes and then
Which one?
turns
Salem
left,
Pine
that's not
Road.
Salem,
Salem
that's Treadwell. Salem used to come out over, come out by John Lewis, but I don't.
Come back to backup, because that's where he put his dirt together.
That's what you want?
The road.
That's what I recommend, but
I'll make a motion to approve Salem Pine Road.
I have a motion by Commissioner Natuno, a second by Commissioner McAnally to approve naming this subject road Salem Pine
The third proposed name.
Road. Is that right?
Yes.
There ain't no other Salem Pine Road, I take it.
no, sir.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, unanimous, 5-0.
Thank you.
Item number 22, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve the regulation and modifications on our permits and permit department. Then item number 23, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve the setting of date and time to hold a workshop on subdivision rules and regulation, I presume, to include recent Senate Bill 14 and 3697 changes made by the, I keep reading excerpts and things of that nature about this. I still hadn't run across the key language that specifically says we can't do variances in. I've read it and it's not jumping out there at me.
It's in section, 3697, it's in section H. And that's part of the problem, because they came up with this in September, didn't say anything until August. Kind of goes back to what you're saying with openness. The legislatures didn't even say anything about this until they approved it in August and made it effective September 1st. And we were supposed to have the rules written, our subdivision rules not modified to meet it by January the 1st. You know, and so we're just now getting to the point where we can sit down, and we've gone through this for months and months and months trying to figure out what we can and can't do. So it's not, nobody gave you backup or help back from you. There was no backup to give you.
So really, there's nothing to do on 22, we just need to go to 23.
Right, 22, that's what we was, and then I'd like to see us set up a workshop, you know.
It's gonna take us sitting down and going through with 3697 and 14 and what we currently have in place and answer this guy's question he had about the plat. Because the permit department, whenever somebody comes in for a permit in a platted subdivision, those field notes become important, but we've never really paid that much.
Well, as the self-appointed ramrod of this project, have you found, I'm a fond believer in plagiarizing somebody else's work. If some of the bigger counties already done any of this, something we could use as a go-by, at least to start with.
From what we're finding out, and that's why I was talking with Judge Murphy over there at that COG meeting, they haven't even addressed it. Tyler County just now adopted their rules and regulations a couple of months ago, and they're already out because they didn't took any of this in.
But it's just a month or two this law come in. It's not uncommon for it to take a year or two, and some things where they spring it on you, the books hadn't even been pointed out that's got the new laws in it, you know.
They have not.
Because of internet, those that know where to look have found that, but
Some of the stuff that we pinpointed, we can go on and address in subdivision rules and regs and get ahead of the curve.
It's,
It's
it's
kind
kinda-
of, probably run up for council.
We're-
They work.
where I get in trouble is when,
Okay. It is code, yeah. I don't know how to, I don't think I have access.
I said, where I get in trouble is a lot of these times, I wind up reviewing commercial stuff, I don't even look at residential stuff. But it becomes a problem of interpretation of the differences between what the local government code says we can do and what our rules say we should do. Then they go and compound the problem with those House bills that says basically counties don't have the right to make it harder in their rules than the local government code. But in many, many instances, our code or our rules are much more involved than what the local government code says.
It is, and you gotta keep in mind, a lot of this stuff doesn't have to do with us doing anything wrong, it has to do with the permit process in Harris County took years to get something done. Now they've got it down to 2 weeks.
How long are you gonna need to get your ducks in a row? When do we need to set the meeting?
Sometime in January.
Yeah, okay.
And let me tell you, let me go back to the one that I put on there. Our permit department is overwhelmed with work. And I had talked to.
Overwhelmed? I thought you said the permits have gone down significantly since we, here recently. Didn't you just tell me that?
This is just a lull time of the year.
Yeah.
Well,
There's not a lot of.
That is what you did. I listened to a lot of what you say, and you did say the numbers are down significantly. And we attribute that, for one thing, to interest rates went up, and not as many people are building right now because the interest rates are higher than they've
And it's
been
a
in the past.
specific time of year, there's not a lot of development.
The building permits probably have went down, but the building continues.
Yes, absolutely.
well, let me say this. I took a picture of just for the court, that we have got to get some dimensions put on these permits. That's on Hill Lane. You know, the permit that I called you the other day
That
about?
fellow's in the road ditch, isn't he?
Well, that's what I say. We've got to get some drawings put on these permit applications.
He's in the runaway.
Well, the roof is gonna be out and under, yeah. So we need to update and get every permit needs dimensions of where the house is gonna be, where the garage, or whatever they're gonna put on there. It's gonna be, cause I've got this one right here is built out in the easement.
So,
So January 24th, how about January 24th?
That's fine with me.
Is that a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion by Commissioner McAnally, a second by Commissioner Brendan to have a workshop on January 24th, 24, to go over what changes we might need to make to the subdivision rules and regulations as the impact of Senate Bill 14 and House Bill 3697 are considered. We got to catch up with the new law.
Yes.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. It's unanimous, 5-0. Workshop. No action on 22 at this time. Item number 24, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve proposed subdivision of property of Jose Alariz off Lee Turner Road.
How'd you say that, Jerry?
Alariaz? I don't know if that's right. I apologize if I messed it up too much.
This one here, Mark and I've been working on for a while, and this no one's gonna fall in under these subdivision rules and regulations, really don't address it. He's got considerable amount of land. He's using a 40-foot right of way, or 40 plus 20, to get down to his property at the end. But to do it properly, he would have to build a road into there to divide the land, because he's subdividing it out, or here we come into the variance question.
Listen, if he's not on the, if he's gonna cut land up and build a road to it, it's not touching the county road. He's gonna have to build a road that meets our standards.
Well, yeah, he is, the road is there, he's using the utility easement, that's what he's doing. And he's already got 40 foot plus 20 from the utility easement.
I mean, if we follow the rules. Like,
If we follow the rules, and that's where we're at.
We don't have
a plat on it at all.
You wanna put this on hold till 24th? We have our meeting after 24th?
Nobody makes a motion, we'll have to.
You run into a problem though, unless we have a reason to deny it, you're already in this time clock, according to 3697.
That's the issue, unless we have to bring it to court to find, so we can.
He's got no application here.
But for him, he does. We've been going over this in September with him, but under the new rules, we got 2 weeks or no additional court. So, yeah, I'm saying we need to wait until after we do the deal on the 22nd so we can do it. And that way we've at least taken some action on it.
So he's approached the permit department. I mean, if you
yeah.
want to divide, if you divide land up in the state of Texas, according to the law and our rules, you have to apply to the court, and you have to file an application and be put on the agenda. None of that's happened here.
Not with that. He's just been submitting surveys and what he wants to do. And we've done been out there with the fire marshal and looked at the road, and it's not adequate for this and that. There's just a whole bunch of deficiencies. But
Well,
we'll have
if he
to
hadn't
address
filed
them.
the proper paper, then the time period don't.
Right. He hasn't filed an application to have his.
We're doing this under 3697 because they said you got so much time to do something, so we're doing something. So now we can kick it down.
So he needs to be told, he needs to file the proper paper.
He's got to file an application.
Yeah.
He hasn't done that. You don't have an application to subdivide land, do you?
He's gonna have to do a plat. He's gonna have to
Yeah,
file a
tell
plat.
him website, it's,
And once he files that, we have an obligation to act on it timely.
Exactly. And that's where.
And if he doesn't, if we don't, then it's deemed approved. I don't have a problem with that, but he can't just,
It's not complete yet. I sent you everything I had on it, so we can go back to him. I'll say we need to follow proper procedures.
no,
Well, do we need to make a motion in that effect, so it'd be in on the record?
Well, I can do that, yeah.
Yeah, I
Make
think
a
we
motion.
need to make a
let the
motion.
record reflect there's no application been filed yet, no plat presented yet. All I see is a copy of a deed.
The survey.
I see his field notes. I see a right-of-way instrument from Energy, or to Energy. A drawing of where the right-of-way is, I guess, on the Energy. That's a power line easement,
Yes, power.
isn't it? Utility. Road name request form.
Is that what he's proposing to use them?
Oh, wait a minute, here's a survey back here.
There's a survey on it, which shows at the very back, where you split that 3 pieces.
Just because you've got a power line, it don't mean you can drive down it.
That's
Somebody
exactly
else owns
correct.
that
That's what
land.
I'm telling you. Yeah. That's what we.
Power line easement is the power line easement.
He's got a 20-foot utility easement through there to right, the power line.
But there is a plat. I didn't see the plat. There is a plat. There's no application, but there's a plat.
What that doesn't tell you though, he's 1,000 feet for those 3 lots, he's 1,000 feet off of Turner Road. That's a pretty good distance, that becomes a fire marshal issue as well.
I did go out and look at the road. There is a road base of some sort there. I mean, there's nothing that says I fire trucks in, I think
in order, you can't use that utility right of way, so what he needs to do is create a road inside that platted area you're looking at, is what he needs to do.
He could use that.
Huh?
He could use that easement, but he's gonna have to get an easement from the people that own the land for a road.
Yes.
I have reviewed
He doesn't
preliminary
what?
plat,
What?
unnamed
He does.
roads.
He owns,
Oh, he owns the land? I thought you said he didn't.
No, he owns that easement that, where the road is right now. The thing is though, if it were under our current rules, it'd have to be 60 feet of easement, and he doesn't have it.
He's only got 40 foot, and then he runs into 20-foot utility.
Okay, so
No, you can't.
That's
So he
dedicated
needs,
to the,
so he needs to come back and include another 20 foot from what he's already got on that survey as part of his 60-foot easement.
well, it looks like he owns the property on the other side of the proposed 40-foot right of way. And I guess this is a 1 acre, 2 acre, 5 acres. This is 5 acres of, man, it's hard to read.
The very back of his property.
In the Peter Whitaker, out of a call 143 acre tract. It's 10 acres where this copy of this deed is over here on this side. And it looks like he owns this 12 acres over here.
He owns part of that 140 some of it.
And yeah, that must, this, according to this plat, somebody else owns this piece and somebody named Hines owns this piece, but he must own 5 acres right here, obviously. Well, I'm just worried that there is a plat, there's no formal application filed, but,
Application, proper paperwork. So
if we wanna work, if we wanna not lose our teeth, so to speak, as far as this don't comply with our rules.
it does not.
We could, what I would say
If he
we
had a
should,
60-foot right of way, it still wouldn't apply to the rules, because the rules say any division of land has to have 50 foot of road frontage. These lots that he developed does not.
It does not have county road frontage,
You're
no.
right. So how's that gonna work?
the way it works is, he builds a county road.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
He builds a county road, he's got 50 foot on the proposed county road. Our standards are 60 foot, and then build it up to that, and then we set a bond.
And you have to bring that road up again.
Unless you wanted to, well, he's got 40 foot and then 20 foot utilities, so that's a total of 60.
yeah, he can't claim the 20 foot.
You can't,
No, that's dedicated to the energy. He's gotta have 60 foot up beyond.
is there poles in the ground or is it underground?
There's poles in the ground. You're gonna be able to drive on.
But it won't matter if it's in the ground or underground or overhead.
No matter. Well, a lot of times you got power lines in the road
You
ditch.
do now after the road has been put, but you don't do that. And I assure you, you go to Chico or Energy and they'll tell you, no, absolutely. That's not, you know, that's dedicated to
Well,
us.
he ain't got nowhere to go unless he gets the other 20 foot over here, so.
Oh, he can back up on that, on the horse he's got. And just take
Yeah, but not, didn't you say, which way do you go to get to the road? This way or that way?
on this way. He can come in.
He owns the property. He is,
All he gotta do, this is utility right here. All you gotta do is come up and this way.
Yeah, but he don't own this right here. This belongs to somebody named Heinrich Hines.
Him and that guy, he's taking.
Oh, okay, well then he could do that.
Yeah, he could do that. And that's what we've been suggesting.
What I would suggest,
We're gonna take a break and go to lunch.
we can, if you propose them, if this is what they're wanting you to approve, I would think we'd want a motion to deny approval of this as a subdivision plat. And the reason being, it's, first of all, it don't have a 60-foot road.
Won't we deny the paperwork that was?
We just have to take action. If we don't do anything and just push it down the road, I think that new House bill says that you can't just do that. You can't just
You
kick it
gotta have
down the road.
something going, you have to have a reason for that, so that's what I'll make a motion
So
to
how far, pardon me, how far is it back this way?
1,000 foot.
1,000 foot. How much, what sort of a bond would you require on a 1,000-foot road?
Yeah, at least.
I'm old enough to remember back in '98, we set, I think we set an $80,000 for a mile.
Yeah, but that's when you.
That's 25 years ago though.
That's when you get a mile done for around that. With chip seal.
This ain't no family division or nothing like that, right?
One of those parcels is to his aunt, but that doesn't matter. On 3697, family doesn't go out the way. That make any difference if family.
I didn't, I looked over the statute, but I ain't read it, every single word. I didn't find where it takes away the,
Yeah, that
the
was in the
exemptions.
summary. That was in the summary write-up.
What you're reading on the legal websites is that you can't make something, you can't have somebody give an instrument, a document, a test, or anything else that is beyond what's in the legislation as the local government code, local property code, local transportation code.
The code hadn't been printed yet that's got this in there.
Judge, it's on the websites of the House, it's on the website of the local government code.
I'm just telling you, if you took it to court, they don't even have the book yet that's got that on there.
You're absolutely right, but it is there.
And that's how I operate. When they send me a new code, then that's the law.
I don't know when it becomes legal. You know more about that than I do. Sure.
Well, I can make a motion to reject this pending him providing a proper application for subdivision.
And for insufficient proposed access doesn't comply with the county standard. I think that's just the reason. You gotta kind of list out what you gotta do to come compliant. And then if he does it, we're obligated to approve.
Yeah, well, he doesn't meet the qualifications for a subdivision. Rules and regulations.
Okay, so I have a motion by Commissioner Brandon, a second by Commissioner McNally to deny the application to approve this subdivision because they haven't complied with the road width. And if that ain't a county road, they're gonna have to.
It's not
They're
county.
gonna have to.
Matter of fact, he went to Trish to get a road name on the road so the people who do go down there can get the mail and address.
Well, he's gonna have to, if he's doing this according to our rules and the law, he's gonna have to put up a bond or put the road or a letter of credit or whatever. He's gonna have to fix the road and bring it up to county standards. Unless
He gotta build a brand new road, cause he don't have a road there now, he's using the easement. You know, anywhere you go, he's gotta build a brand new road.
if he comes back and says, man, they've been driving through, the old Joe Blow used to live back there, he's been driving down through here for 40 years or over 10 years. There may be some, but we're not there, we're not hearing all that, I'm just saying. Otherwise, he's gonna have to do what the rules say.
He's still gonna have an issue, even if he makes a road and David or whoever's the commissioner don't accept it, the rules say it has to touch a county or state road. So how's that gonna work? Commissioner with a private road.
You're making them pay the money to fix the road. It ain't gonna be a private road. It's gonna be a county road. The rules say if you apply to divide land up, we have the right to make you build a road up to our standards. But once you do that, then we're obligated to take, we can't make you do all that and then not take the road.
Well, we're obligated to take it if it meets our specs at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we can kick it down the road another year.
You know, I don't think you have to take it.
You're not required to.
I think it can be a private road. It just has to be built to standard, but still they're not qualified for the rules. All right, there again, all the private roads that have been created in subdivision private roads, how are they qualified? They're going through the rules and regulations, the right with the private roads.
Well, we did that one time.
We did it a bunch of times.
We did it one time, and they call it Trails In.
No. We got Cape Royale, we got all that stuff Pete Rowan did up there, they're all private roads.
We didn't put in Cape Royale, not us. Yeah, the county did, but they approved the plats, and you're right, they were private roads. Only thing public about that is up to the guard shack at Cape Royale.
Lake Oaks Lane is all private with their concrete roads.
That was 98 too, not Lake Oaks Lane, no, it was that other one.
They're
The one up there by Holiday Village, that was 98 too.
not concrete roads.
But we made them build a road up to standard, that's all. We're just trying to make sure people they don't run out there and sell people lots and they can't even get to it because there's stumps in the road.
Right.
Do you know the text dot rules, the old rules say, when you're building a road, as long as the stump ain't over 6 inches, it's all right?
That's a transportation code.
That's still on the
It's still
books.
on the books too, yeah.
That's the minimum specification.
That's the minimum specs. You gotta at
Or
least
county
cut
road.
the stumps down to 6 inches. I don't know how all that. All right,
Well, a wagon axle was like 12 inches off the ground,
Yeah.
so, you know.
yeah. Have a motion by Commissioner Brandon, a second by Commissioner McAnally. Any other comments? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. It's unanimous. The application, as it sits right now, is denied for various reasons stated heretofore. Item number 25, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve proposed entrance to Peach Creek PC if approved by TCEQ.
I sent y'all stuff when I labeling out today, for y'all to look at, where they're putting their entrance in. They've done the layout for the driveway in and out. And that's
Peach Creek PC, now what is that?
landfill, false storage.
Peach Creek? I don't know why I thought it was so, they just used initials most of the time, PC too.
Yeah, PCG.
You come up here on
And this is Jeff, he was at the last meeting too. They put this together, Mark looked at it, and I looked at it. Actually, pretty dang good design for it. 230 foot, be kind of a boulevard setup, so ingress and egress doesn't compete with each other going out onto the road. With a clean out for the culvert, the 18-inch culvert, concrete drive, everything. Going with that.
So is it within the existing county right of way?
Sorry?
Is it within the existing county right of way, or they got to get some more land for it?
It's within.
It's in.
I got a little bit bigger drawing.
Well, they got something 4 inches over there, and they said something about having some type of lunch. She might have just been being polite.
No, she said something else the other day.
What is your name, sir?
Jeff Hobby.
Jeff what?
Hobby.
Hobby. Hobby, huh? Any relation to any elected officials in the past?
No,
Governors
sir.
and that sort?
The airport and that.
Not the airport or nothing.
can
up
room
from, Jayhawk.
They can
The rest
actually,
of that's gonna be private.
Brian, one of the questions I had, if you look at it, where they got the pictures, you come in here, like this would be 1725. You come in here and go out this way,
So
but
the red line
it's
is
wide
the
enough
property
where
line?
you'll be coming
Yes.
this way, so it won't be competing. And keeping in mind that they're, when they do the road width, construction on the road, put a plug in.
What road are we talking about off of Foster Trend?
This would be going into.
It'd be a private drive.
Private
Once you
Oh,
turn
okay.
over.
Okay.
That way there'll be no slowdown for either, one of them coming in or out.
Trying to alleviate traffic because they got the traffic study on BNSF on the other end. They're talking about like 100 trucks an hour going.
So basically, you just want permission to come off of Foster Trend, because we can't tell you which road.
That's exactly right. We'll just get permission to
You
be
should have
very
named it like
transparent.
we're already.
If TCQ approves their permit, this is how their entrance would be off the Foster train. 230 foot boulevard, multi-floor.
I think that's awesome. That's,
And we've gone through the hydrology and everything, 18-inch culverts suffices, and it's clean out access.
So that's one way in or on one side? I mean, how's that?
Yes, sir, it's come in on one, be a little divider right on the entrance. Just to keep the trucks from, so there will be a little separation there.
Oh, yeah.
in other words, you'll come in one way and go out the other way.
Or you be
One
running up
go-
230 foot to go.
Yeah, you can go either way.
I'll make that motion to approve.
Second. Looks good.
I have a motion by Commissioner Brandon, second by Commissioner McAnally. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Number 26, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve to put 2002 red Freightliner dump truck on Renee Bates with a $5,000 minimum bid, then number blah, 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 blah.
Okay, that should be a white, should not be red. When I put that agenda together, I was having vision problems before I got my surgery, so.
I'm sure it was busy.
Huh?
Drinking, right?
No, vision. I had surgery on my eye, so.
I don't know what difference it makes, what color it was.
It did, and I just for clarification, so nobody say.
Yeah, I might get another.
I have a motion by Commissioner McAnally, a second by Commissioner Natuno. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0. All right, number 27. Mr. Darling, I had a young man, I had put out a word to try to get a price on staining the concrete over. And this is item 27, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve necessary action for the Innovation Center. Now, he was here at 9 o'clock, but he got tired of waiting, I guess.
We got a price on it. One price.
I'm just telling you, another fella called me and I said, I'd called him a month ago, but, anyway, what's the price now? His price was in the neighborhood of $400 to $450 a foot to stain it.
Well, I got a price, I told y'all the last quarter, because we got a price on the alleyway, the main thoroughfare that goes from one end to the other. There's 1,200 square feet. He measured it up at $3 a square foot with a emblem in the middle.
I didn't hear about that. $3 is better than $4.
Yeah, I said it last quarter when we talked about it.
You might have said it to some of them, I didn't hear that.
Anyway, the price is $3 a square foot for the 1,200 square feet. And then the emblem is $1,500. So that's roughly $4,500.
At $3 a foot, why don't we do the 2 big rooms while we're at it? We got the money. Not all the offices, cause they're gonna be covered up with desks and all that anyway.
What do you mean, the 2 big rooms on this side? That's a court decision.
The 2 big rooms, where the extension and where emergency management's gonna be.
Yeah.
$3 a foot, that'll keep us under the bid requirements. That's a good price. That's
So
a
what,
excellent.
what's your proposal? What are they gonna do in the hall? This stuff?
No, in the main hall, no, they're gonna stain the floor.
Stain.
This is way back when we all started. I got the guy to come over. He lives in precinct 2, Donnie precinct. And he's a great guy, does a great job. And I called him, he came over, looked at it. He said, well, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't do nothing to the other floors. He said, there ain't nothing wrong with them. And they look good. He said, I probably wouldn't even.
Have they done something to it since we all walked in there and looked at it?
Yes, they come back and ground. Well, now I think they did. They come back and ground and retouched up. But I'm just telling you what he said. He said, I wouldn't even give you a price on the others. He said, but I would do the hallway if that's what the court, it pleases the court.
How quick could he get to it?
He could have got to it last week. But
Yeah, I mean, it ain't like he's 8 weeks down the road.
no, I don't know. I'm sure he could do it before the first year. Because I mean, it's.
You don't think he'd charge more? I would love to see a motion to do both buildings, both big rooms at $3 a foot, and what you're talking about. Now that's just me, because the stain, the right guy doing the stain, it makes it look nice, very nice.
When is the contract out?
It won't be before January. As soon as the generator gets in, that's the last real scope of work that needs to be done.
You don't see a problem with somebody working in there that's not under the contractor's thumb?
I've already told you I wouldn't do that. But something else y'all might want to consider. I'm going to get a credit from the contractor for some outstanding items up there that may pay for a lot of this. We've saved some money in some various ways. One of the biggest ways is I haven't put all this rock out there instead of doing any landscaping. So they owe us a credit for that. They owe us a credit for a smaller water meter. I owe them some things for some things they did for the county, like they put in an electrical plug and a water outlet for the new ice maker. But they're gonna owe some money off of the original grant.
That's all right.
It's all right, and I think a lot of that can be paid for if we have the timber line handled. I don't know what you do with the credit if they don't.
We got retainage. Hopefully it ain't over the retainage. You take it out. The bookkeepers know how to deal with that.
Well, it is a bookkeeping problem with that.
Tell it over. Boston left, huh?
And I don't have the book. She took it with her.
There's a way to work it out though.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
still owe them retainage, yes.
Do you have any idea what's coming back?
Somewhere in the vicinity of $5,000 to $7,000.
Well, there you go. There's your money to do the home.
Y'all wanna do the floor at $3 a foot?
Well, the $3.
I think you said the guy said he wouldn't do it.
$3 a foot, be careful with that, because you're gonna have some repairs on the base, various other issues that may come up. You may damage some doors in the process of doing this. I don't know what could happen.
Listen, if the guy doing the floor work knocks a hole in the wall, he gotta fix that. Why are y'all so afraid to move? I mean, if you just don't wanna do it, let's don't do it, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay. Hell, we got a $3 million building and we got a floor that's bare concrete, and I'm just trying to.
For $1,000 sitting over there too, ain't no shit.
What?
We got $400,000 sitting up, ain't done shit with it.
400,000?
Probably.
I don't have a problem doing the hallway. Will Timberline do the hallway? Sure. For that $3?
I don't know. You
No,
guys.
no. We got a guy that'll do it for $3. Why would we want to give it to somebody
I'm
else?
just saying, I don't think you can do anything while that building is still under contract. It's not our building yet.
I'm sure it is our bill. What do you want that?
It's under contract, we sign off on it.
They got a contract to do what they're contracted to do, but that don't mean
They're not finished.
they done said they're not gonna fix the floor.
Well, that's what they say, what they do, sometimes people do. We also had a guy said he wasn't gonna fix the building either.
Huh?
We had a guy here one time said he wasn't gonna fix the building either.
He didn't either.
They did down the road.
Not him. The insurance did it.
That's what he pays it for. Just like that contractor over there does.
Well,
Same way I do, same way Larry does, anybody in business. That's why you got a bond.
I don't think he could probably do it till after the first year, and if they're gonna be released by then, that may be a court decision to do after the first year. We'll see what money we're getting back, and then, cause it's the hallway, it's not gonna matter. He can block a hallway, and we can do that anytime. Not gonna be any furniture in there, any obstacles to do it at all.
Damn. Okay. We're gonna have a nice hallway and the rest of it's. If we didn't have the money to do it, I'd say I agree, but whatever.
Well, I'm just telling you what he told me about the other floor. We looked at the whole building, and he said, I wouldn't even give you a price on nothing but the hallway.
Okay, he didn't give you the impression that he'd do the other.
He said he wouldn't, personally, I wouldn't do nothing to the other. He said the floor looks good, there's nothing wrong with it. And he said, the only thing I would do is, if y'all wanted to do the hallway, this is what it would cost. But he said there's nothing wrong with the other floors. I wouldn't even be interested in giving you a price on it. I don't know.
Well, I say take the retainers and do the hallway. If Timberline.
Is that a motion?
If we're not, yeah.
That's like,
Okay.
Take the residue that we're getting back from Timberline and do the hallway. But you're gonna have to go through Timberline. You can't just go in there and start doing something.
Well, I don't
give that building to us.
I don't think we need to do it until we get shit.
Just contact them and ask them for like a waiver or whatever it is. There's paperwork to cover that. Yeah, you don't just go show up and start doing it without their consent.
But if we really wanted to bow up, Timberline.
They're not gonna say anything. We need.
No, but what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course.
Timberline is putting it over on us anyway. On account of the hydraulic fluid that's still in the floor that'll be there from now on, that they should have got out before they put the sealer on the floor. That's their obligation.
Accurate.
Does this guy know about the hydraulic fluid?
Absolutely, he can spot every bit of it. He knows. Yes, he knows floor. He said right there's hydraulic fluid that they ought to got up. They're obligated for that.
As long as he knows that he's got to fix it.
We hadn't signed
Well,
off and
that's
given
not
them.
in the hallway that he's gonna do.
No.
That's in this part
On
of
the
the
right
building
side of the building.
over there. But I'm just saying, if we let them get by with that,
Why don't you, somebody's gonna have to get if that's a big deal, somebody is gonna have to get an estimate on what it costs to fix that.
Well, they shouldn't have,
Then we can make demand on the builder to fix it or pay the damages, one of the two.
they shouldn't have never sealed that floor with that down there on it.
But they did. But
And you can see it readily.
it still can be fixed.
Yeah, it can be fixed, but I'm just
We
saying.
didn't tell them to do it without, we were on them, I thought, hey, what are y'all gonna do with this hydraulic fluid? I come over there right after it happened, and they were in there, and they said, yeah, he bent all these, the guy got in there and bent a bunch of the metal studs, and
Yeah.
run into it with that lift deal he had. I guess the hand didn't know how to operate it or something. I don't know how he busted the hydraulic hose.
I got who made the second?
Who made the motion?
All the way,
So,
with the logo.
I got a motion by Commissioner Natuno to $3 a foot, do the hallway in the Innovation Center, and then at 1,500, I think you said, to do a seal in the middle of it, but not do the floor, seconded by Commissioner McAnally, and not do the floor in the rest of the building. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? I'm opposed. It's not that I'm opposed, but I want to do the whole floor, so I'm opposed. It passes 3-1.
Oh, 3-1. Dadgum, I got to mark out.
Commissioner Mars is out. I like the idea we're gonna at least do that, but I wanted to do the whole. All right, anything else about the building that we've got to talk under item 27? Mr. Mars was having hunger pains, and do you think, we still got to enter, we got about 3 things we got to do in executive session. Do y'all want to go grab something to eat, Mr. Mars? I do. Gentlemen?
That's fine, just reset.
What time should it be?
2 o'clock.
Well, here's what we got to do, and I'll let the public know. We got a couple of things that, as y'all were all here, the lawyer came up here and says, hey, we're trying to get this agreement approved we have to give consent, or the contract says that they need our consent they've sold their oil company, and that agreement we went into 15 years ago is now going to be assigned over to the new oil company. And we're going to discuss that under potential, there's a lawsuit pending, under potential lawsuits and real property in the under the executive session rules. We're going to interview 2 applicants for a code enforcement officer, and that's under item number 11, and then we'll come back in regular and make a decision. And then there's one other thing on that. We got a bid on a piece of real property that we voted to advertise and sell. We only got one bid. It's not on the agenda, but it is deliberations regarding real property. We're going to discuss the bid momentarily and then come back. And if the bid is above the $15,000 minimum, then we can go ahead and accept the bid. Or we're going to do whatever the court wants to do. Those are the things that we're going to talk about. And then we can vote on them all under number 28. So we're going to, what time we got?
12:47.
Damn. Man, I hate you guys. Are you Mr. Brother Williams? It is what it is. It's almost 1 o'clock. We're going to come back here at 2. Or can we eat faster than that? I can eat faster.
They may have some pizza next door.
We're gonna come back at 1:30. And we're gonna go right into regular session, executive session at that time. At 1:30.